web browser, and chat can do this as well, I believe, if they want to see what Will is looking at and what Dan is looking at. You're going to go to www.bombmanual.com. No, the FBI will not come knocking on your door. I've checked this out. It's a real website. bombmanual.com. Oh, it's right there on my screen, at the bottom of my screen there. So you're going to go to that.
Yep, we are there.
Okay.
Hey, how are you doing?
And and pretty soon here, you're going to not want to look at my screen, Will or Dan, because I will be seeing the bomb, already. Chat will be seeing the bomb, and you're not supposed to see the bomb. You're just supposed to see the manual on how to display, how to get rid of the bomb.
Okay.
So
we still have verification code 241, which I believe you need to put in, right?
Yeah. Does Will have verification code 241?
The hell does that even mean?
If you click on view as a website, you should see bomb defusal manual version 1 verification code 241.
Yes, 241.
Okay, we should be good then. And I will jump in for the bomb. Ooh, there's gonna be mods for this too. All right, let's just try the first bomb. Dan and I have done this before, so Will will have a good idea. Will, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna see this bomb. I'm going to try and describe it. You will help me solve each of the 3 modules before the 5-minute timer runs out. If I get 3 strikes, it blows up. Every strike makes the clock tick a little bit faster, and it gets more and more exciting as it goes. And there are like a gajillion pages to your manual, so I'm gonna tell you and Dan what the different modules are first, so you can try and find those sections. Like I'll say, Dan, go for Greek alphabet letters. Will, look for wires, and then I will circle back around and give you more information on those 2 modules. If you're just joining me in chat, we're doing the movie night with Dan from the Mongooli Show and Cleaning Agent. You can go to Dan's channel as well. We're just trying to do a little multi-streaming while we start up, and we're warming up on Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Question, I am in a remote place far away from the danger of the said bomb, right?
Yes, that is correct. So you get to laugh when I blow up.
Pressure's off, pressure's off.
That's right. Okay, so the first bomb, which should be fairly easy. We've already beaten this. We beat it with a minute, almost 2 minutes remaining. Had 3 modules, 3 strikes. Here we go. We're gonna start this off. Will has never done this. Dan has only done it once or twice. They are not seeing the bomb, only me. They have manuals, and if you want to look at those manuals, you can go to www.bombmanual.com and check that out. All right, so I've got 3 modules. It is Greek letters, it's wires, and it's a big button to press.
All right,
so
let's
Dan,
go with the wires first.
I'm gonna go with the wires first. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires. I've got one of them is a red wire.
Do you have any yellow wires?
I have 1 yellow wire.
Okay. There's exactly 1 yellow wire. More than 1 white wire?
Yes.
Cut the 4th wire.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's got it. We got it. Okay, Greek letters. I have, oh my God, these are new ones. Okay, we have the, oh my, I don't even know. Okay, there's an upside down question mark. I have what looks kind of like a capital I with sort of like an X over top of it also.
Okay.
I have an upside down P, but it kind of looks like maybe it's got a pitchfork attached to its ass or something. And then I've got that weird triangle with the E on its side.
Okay. P, E on its side.
Okay.
Capital I, question mark.
Capital I. Oh, nope, that's not it. That's not it. I got P, that's the green one, 1 strike. So it's a capital I with this weird looking X kind of thing over it.
Yeah. But you said you had the E on its side with the triangle, right?
The triangle with the E on its side and an upside down question mark.
Interesting. I really think that it should be the P, the E on its side, the capital I.
Oh, then the E on its side? So it's P, then E on its side?
Correct.
Okay, that's why. And now it's the X with the I?
Correct.
Okay, and now upside down question mark. All right, we got that one. All right, the next one is a great big button to press. It's a white button that says hold.
1 second. Where is that module? How much time we got left?
3 minutes.
Oh, we're laughing.
There's no Greek lettering in this.
I don't know what those letters are. I don't know what those shapes are. Chat can see them. Yeah, Stocky says those are not Greek. I don't know what a Greek letter looks like. There was a Greek letter. There was an
You must
omega
speak
one
run
time.
for this to work, buddy. You got to speak run.
Oh my lord. Okay, so
okay.
you just meant the symbols.
Symbols.
On a keypad?
Yeah,
Okay,
symbols
good
on a
to know.
keypad. I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you. Now it's what? A button?
It's a great big white button that says hold.
Holy shnikes.
I don't see one for a white button that says hold. I see a red button that says hold. The button is blue. There's more than, is there more than one battery? No, wait. One says detonate. If the button is white and there's a lit indicator with label car.
Okay. I have, oh wow, there's more batteries. Okay, so I have 4 batteries total. I see a Bob. I got a serial number. I see, looks like IND that's not lit. That's all I got.
Is there a label? A label with FRK on it?
No FRK.
If none of the above,
when you run 7.
if none of the above apply, hold the button and refer to releasing a held button. Oh shit! I need to read more.
Oh shit! We got 1 minute. This part
Here we go.
sucks.
I found something on the subject of the button. Okay. Okay.
If you start holding the button down, a colored strip will light up on the right side of the module. Based on its color, you must release the button at a specific time.
Yeah, give me the color schemes. What do we got?
Blue, release when the countdown has 4 in it. White, release when the countdown timer has 1
red.
in it.
Yeah. If the button is white,
It's
Any
red.
other colors, release when the countdown
indicator.
timer has a 1 in any position.
Okay, this is gonna be really tough. Hold on, I think I got this. Oh, we got it! We got it! We got it! We got it!
Oh,
21
okay.
seconds left on the clock. I had to wait to get to a 1. All right,
Nice.
we did it. We did it.
Nailed it.
Did not
so
get our
there's
best time though, but we diffused it. So that was
take
good.
it. For Will's first time where he didn't know what was going on, I'll take it.
All right, yeah, that was pretty good. We lost a lot of time on that white button and a few mistakes on the not so Greek letters there on the bombs.
Nice.
Okay.
Greek letters. I spent so much time looking over that.
I don't know. One time there was one that was a Greek letter. It was the omega symbol. And I was like, I know that because Omega Red's my guy. And
Right.
and that was it. Were Greek letters ever since. So, okay.
I'm glad I could be of assistance.
All right. So
You
section
want to take the
2.
wheel on this one?
Oh, sure. Why not?
I mean, run can still do bomb. I just mean I'll let you kind of use the manual a bit more. I was kind of talking over you there. I think.
We'll do a couple more until Will gets his feet under him, and then I want Will to do the ball because I want to get him behind a manual. I want to try that out. All right, section 2, the basics. We have done this one before. This is the last one that we've done before, but I want Will to get a little more training in here. Something old, something new, it says. Last time we beat this with 2.5 minutes remaining, so it should be super duper easy. All right, here we go. We're jumping into it. Oh man, I'm so cold in the studio. I forgot to warm it up ahead of time. All right, here we go. All right, it's got 3 modules, it looks like. Yep, 3 modules. I've got wires, I've got the button, and I've got the grid. Oh goodness, the grid sucks.
All right, let's do the button first.
Okay, the button first. It's a yellow button. It says detonate.
Okay, if there is more than 1 battery on the bomb and it says detonate,
1 battery on the bomb, only 1 battery.
if the button is yellow.
It's a yellow button.
If the button is yellow, hold the button and refer to releasing a held button. Oh geez. Where
Okay.
was releasing
So
a held
hold the button. What color does it become?
Yellow color.
Okay,
5.
yellow strip. Yeah,
It's a
release when
5?
the timer says 5.
Okay,
In any
hold on.
position.
Waiting for a 5. All right, we got it. Okay, wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires. No red wires.
Okay. Are there yellow wires?
Yes, there's 1 yellow wire.
Okay, otherwise, if there's exactly 1 yellow wire, there's more than 1 white. Is there more than 1 white wire?
1 white wire.
Okay, if there are no red wires,
reading,
cut
Will.
the last wire.
Okay, no, here we go. Oh, I got it. Okay, the grid. The grid is horrible. It's gonna appear like a maze to you, but to me, it's 6 dots by 6 dots in a grid. And I have a white dot, and I have to move that white dot through the maze, but I can't see the maze.
Okay.
I only see the grid points.
I found the maze. Yeah.
Okay, so as a reference to the maze, I have 2 green circles. They're in the second column at the very top and the second column at the very bottom.
Got it.
Second at the top, second at the bottom. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
the bottom
and then
left one there.
I have a red triangle. It's in the 4th column, 3 rows up.
Okay.
All right, and my white dot is the final column on the right, the 2nd row up.
The second from the top?
The second from the bottom.
Second from the bottom. Okay, down 1.
Down 1.
Oh, I see. So he has
Left
to move
1.
Left
through that
1.
to get to the
Up
triangle.
1.
Up 1.
Left 2.
Left 2.
Up 1.
Up 1.
And then where is the triangle from you now?
Right.
To the right of you? Go
Yes.
right.
Yes, we got it! 2 minutes, 34 seconds. Making that one look easy. Dan swoops in on the grid. All
The
right.
grid was really hard the first time we did it, but
Yeah,
like,
now
you
that I know
understand
how
what
to
it is.
explain it, and because I didn't know that you guys saw a maze, and I saw
we
a
see
grid.
the maze, but we have to know where your starting point and ending point are, so we can
Yeah.
get you through it.
Yeah, that's brutal.
I thought the dots were the starting and ending point. I'm like, some of these are really easy. They're like 3 away
Right.
from each other, and there's no lines in the middle. Like, what the heck?
No,
Yeah.
the dots are just letting you know which maze you're on. right?
Exactly.
All right, we're heading into new territory with this one. It's called Double Your Money, section 2.2. You guys ready for this? Nobody's ever done this one before.
Nobody currently
All right.
on the screen.
It says, identifier, double your money, description. The task is clear, but the timer doesn't care about your workload. Bomb configuration, 5 minutes, 6 modules. Oh, we're jumping into hardcore right now. 3
So did you say
strikes.
5 minutes still?
5
Yeah,
minutes
5
still,
minutes.
but it's 6 modules.
Ooh.
Okay, here we go. Whew. All right.
So before we get started, why don't you give me a module and Will a module, and then like one of us can get ready while the other one's doing it.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I've got a red button and I've got a blue button.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay. I'll take red.
Okay. Sure,
Okay,
I'll do blue.
both buttons say hold. Red button and blue button both say hold.
What the hell?
But
Oh,
red,
wow.
it says
It's
hold,
just-
press and immediately release the button. The red one. Press and immediately release.
Oh, got it. Okay. Dan, I've also got 2 sets of Greek letters that aren't Greek. Will, how
ready
you doing on
whenever
the
you
blue
are.
button, buddy?
Let me see here. Blue. Yeah, you got a blue button.
Yeah.
So, press and hold.
Okay. It's yellow.
Yellow. Release when the countdown is 5 in any position.
Okay. Oh man, I just missed the 5. I gotta wait a few seconds here.
My bad.
Can you see the Greeks while you're doing that? While you're waiting for the 5?
Yeah, I got the 5. Okay. The Greeks. The first set of Greeks is that upside down P. I've got the squiggly 6. I've got an upside down question mark, and then I've got the triangle on top of the E.
Okay. Sorry. 6 upside down P squiggly E. What was the 4th one?
No. I've got upside down P. I've got the squiggly 6. I've
Yeah.
got the upside down question mark, and then I got the triangle on top of the E.
Okay, so you're doing 6 upside down P, upside down E, upside down question mark.
Okay, got it. All right, next set of Greek is it's like a pitchfork or maybe like a candelabra kind of thing. I've got a P that's facing the wrong direction. I've got a smiley face with a tongue sticking out, and I've got a star.
I have no idea what the hell this is.
Okay, pitchfork,
Pitchfork,
smiley face,
smiley face,
P,
P,
star.
Star, got it. Okay, now we've got 2 sets of wires. This is why it was double or nothing. Okay, so Will, I've got 5 wires, 1 red. Dan, I've got 4 wires, 1 red.
Okay.
1 red wire.
1 red
Is there
wire,
more than 1 yellow.
1 yellow wire. 1 yellow wire for you also, Dan.
Is there no black wires?
There are 2 black wires.
Sorry, is there a blue wire?
Cut the first wire.
Okay, got Will's. Dan, there is one red wire, one black wire, one yellow wire, one white wire.
Cut the second wire?
Got it!
Oh,
Yeah, there we
oh
go!
my God, okay. I was not confident on that.
We got it. 2 minutes 23 seconds. See, that's why it was double your money. It was 2 sets of everything that time. Okay, that's cool.
Oh man, okay.
Okay. All right, I'm ready to pass the bomb off to somebody else and switch over to manuals.
Will, you want to go bomb? Hey, T-Dub.
Sure. I don't know how to pull that up on my screen though.
Okay, so you're gonna have to start the game,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna have to go to thebombmanual.com.
Right. But
Yeah, but
just
he's trying to figure out how to get it on. Like, just go to your regular streaming as well. Brian looks like he's doing.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, give me a second.
And I will back out of the game because I guess whoever owns the game gets to defuse the bomb, and everybody else just gets to go to the website and see the manual.
Get to talk it through. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting though.
All right, so I'm gonna close that down. Now, Dan, for the sake of viewership, what screen would you like me to show? Should I go?
Okay, you're gonna be super small and nobody's gonna be able to see you, so just like the full U is fine.
Okay, like this. Okay.
Yeah, because what it's actually gonna look like is this.
This. Okay, perfect.
Right?
Okay.
So like they're not looking at us; they're looking at the bomb. There's not much to see here. We're looking at a blank screen.
Okay.
If
And
they wanna
since
see the manual,
since
they
I
can
don't
go
want to
to-
see Will's screen, I'm gonna cover him over with my bomb manual.
Exactly what I was doing.
Exactly what I did too. Yeah.
All right.
How is it
That's
called?
better.
Keep talking and nobody explodes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Oh, that's so funny. There's a VR version. That's pretty cool.
Does anybody want to jump in to chat with us and try this while we're live? I see a T-Dub here. There's a Purple Sticky here. This is essentially a board game, and I know Purple Sticky's a board game fan. All you need is a microphone. We don't need your camera. No offense.
Okay, and then Will, when you load up your game, you're gonna have to give us an identifier number, I believe.
Right. Okay.
I'm not sure, maybe. I don't remember if it was the website gives it to you or not.
Every time I've gone to the website, it just like
Oh, verification code 241, right?
I think it's just always 241. I don't
It's
know how
always
to change it.
241. Okay, so then it doesn't matter. Okay.
Oh, that sucks, T-Dub.
All right. I'm in. Let me take a look here.
Oh, this is heinous.
This is a local multiplayer game for 2 or more players. Oh boy, I've never gone through all this. You are a bomb diffuser. Your goal is to defuse a bomb with the help of your friends.
Sticky guy's a problem.
Your friends are the experts who guide you by using the bomb defusal manual. The diffuser is not allowed to look at the manual. The experts are not allowed to look at the screen.
What's
Try
up?
fun ways.
do you have
keep
to be
the
reading this?
diffuser isolated, but within earshot of the experts. They're like in a blanket fort. It's really cool. Why wouldn't I not read that?
Fair. I've never opened the game. I don't know. I've only ever played as the diffuser. No, sorry, the reader.
You'll never know. You'll never know.
Oh my goodness, the Greek symbol thing's even tougher for you guys. Holy cow.
Wait,
You're-
am I
you're
showing
welcome.
the right screen right now?
No, we're looking at the manual. Brian's never seen the manual before. You are not showing the right screen. You're just showing you.
I'm on my team. So how do I fix that? Do I have to show?
Brian, how did you change it so it showed your gameplay?
Yeah.
I just had like a regular me over top of my left monitor, and then I had the game on the left monitor. And then, then you switch your virtual camera is what you're sharing to Dan, right? Are you sharing virtual camera in OBS?
I'm on virtual cam in OBS. Yeah. Do I
Okay,
switch that?
so make sure your virtual camera is sharing whatever scene is it's like your left monitor scene or whatever.
Oh, in the settings.
Yeah.
Okay,
to the right
let's
of
see.
a virtual camera is a
Okay.
cogwheel. You should be able to click on that in OBS.
All right, let me give me a second here. How about now?
I don't know. I'm not looking at your screen.
I
Hold
see
on,
the game.
let's see.
Okay,
Oh, I
perfect.
see.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah.
The experts can
experts can
find the bomb
manual.
defusal manual there. Okay, here we go. We're going in. Bomb
Oh.
defusal manual required.
241.
This
It's 241.
Thank you.
There you go.
We'll
And
get
then
there yet. We'll get there yet. Before you begin, let's quickly go over the controls of this game. Don't you just point and click?
you just grab it with the left one to click on stuff. You right click it and drag it to flip it around and spin it and stuff. So one thing I noticed is that you'll want to click on the module once, and that'll kind of lock you in on that module. And otherwise, if you like go for your first click, you'll kind of like move it around a little bit. So you want to click on the module and then start clicking on parts of the module. But anyway, it's super intuitive. Once you start playing, you'll get it.
I have faith in you.
Emma Frost, this is our rating. We're just getting warmed up. We're trying to make Cleaning Agent explode.
I'm gonna explode here. Okay, I see a bombs thing on the table.
Yes, there you go.
What do I want to do?
You'll start with the first bomb.
1.3. Okay.
We gotta walk you through the first bomb.
Right. Okay, so leaderboard identifier. The first bomb. Everybody has to start somewhere. Hope it doesn't end here. Make sure your experts have the manual and ready to help. 5 minutes, 3 modules, 3 strikes. Start.
Okay, I'm not looking at your screen anymore.
Me neither.
The screen is for your eyes only. You're not allowed to look at the manual.
The manual?
The manual?
Manualgram.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely
why is it
stop looking
pitch
at the manual.
black? Oh, there it is. Okay, I've got a button.
Okay. What else?
I think it's blue and it says detonate. I'm colorblind, by the way. So here we go.
Oh shit! Seriously? Is there more than one battery on the bomb?
Batteries. I see one big battery, and that I think is it. One big battery.
Okay, so press and hold the button, and then there should be a strip that changes the color.
Red, I think, is flashing.
Release when the countdown timer has a 1 in any position.
Done. Green light, I think.
Yeah,
All right.
I think.
All right, what's the next
chat,
module?
help us.
We've got, let's pretend they're Greek letters.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's do that.
describe them to us.
X with a I in it, in the middle of it.
Yep.
Okay.
And a partially finished 3 that kind of tapers off like a 4-year-old tried to write it.
Got it?
Yep.
A W with a weird squiggly above it.
Okay.
Yep.
And a copyright symbol.
I got this one. Go
for it.
copyright symbol.
Yep.
And then, did you say there was an X with an I in it?
Yep.
Okay, do that one.
Nope.
Okay. Nope. Fail.
What did I miss? Okay,
You
Dan,
missed the
take
saggy
over.
tits. You have the
Say again?
copyright symbol.
Yep.
Saggy tits.
That's a W, but okay.
Sure.
Oh.
I with the X,
I with the X.
and then hand drawn 3.
3. Okay. And then we've got wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires.
Okay.
Where the hell
What
are
do
the
you want?
wires?
Colors make this hard.
Sorry, what color? What do you need to know?
We need the
Oh my
colors of the
goodness.
wires.
Oh, we've got 2 red, a yellow, a blue, and a black and a white.
Oh, hold on. How many wires total?
6.
6.
Okay. No yellow?
1 yellow,
How many whites?
1 white,
No. Okay. Any reds?
2 red.
Okay. Cut the 4th wire.
Dude, that's complicated.
Done.
Woo!
All right.
Was that it, or is there more?
No, that was it.
I'm gonna
Okay.
blow you guys up. You guys are gonna die if I'm at the helm.
Oh, was that your
can't
first time on the
read.
manual?
I
Dude,
can't
it's-
read to save my life. This is so confusing
Oh
to
my
me.
God.
I feel like I'm in high school all over again.
Once
So-
you kind of
Here's the situation, chat.
Once or twice, it's not as bad.
Brian can't read, and Will can't see color, and I'm just trying to hold the whole fucking shit together. Like, this is not gonna go well.
Doing fine. All right, you want me to do one more?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, bombs.
It's
Okay,
not
so
a W, Real Hotep.
Should I just go to 2.4 or what?
Just
Do whatever you feel comfortable with, buddy.
Yeah, whatever you can do. I don't know if it'll let you skip. You might have to go through them in order.
All right, pick up the pace. Reading this only uses up time you don't have. Chop, chop. Okay, funny. 3 minutes, 3 modules, 3 strikes. Ready?
Ooh, 3 minutes only? Okay.
Okay.
Give us
A minute a mod.
2 modules. When you first start out, tell us 2 modules. I'll go to the second one.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, we're loading in. Nimble
This music's
finger.
good for this.
So dark. So dark. All right, we got a white detonate button, and we've got a Simon Says.
Simon Says. Oh,
It
shoot.
says,
That's something
"Get
new.
fucked." Go, Ron. Sorry,
looking,
a
I'm
white
looking.
button
Okay, I got
that
Simon
says,
Says.
what does the white button say?
Detonate.
Is there a lit indicator with the label CAR on it?
On the button?
No, just like somewhere on the battery. On the bomb, sorry.
No, it says SND.
Are there more than 2 batteries?
1 battery. 2 batteries. Just 2.
Okay, hold the button, and then tell me what color it lights up.
I think it's green.
Release when there's a 1 in any position. Fingers fucking crossed.
Oh, nope. Didn't work.
Okay, you said it was a white button that says detonate?
Yeah, but my color could be wrong. Chat, was it green?
Oh, press and immediately release. Sorry, press and immediately release the button.
That's correct. Okay, Simon says.
That's you, Run.
Run.
Okay, hold on. This is really complicated. Okay, is there a flashing color?
Yeah, the bottom.
The bottom, it's green.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. So you have no strikes?
1 strike.
Okay, so I think you push the button on the right.
That's an X, baby, and we got 1:15.
Well, now you have a strike. I don't get this.
I've got 2 strikes.
You have 2 strikes. Where'd you get the other strike from? That changes everything for me.
Wait, from you! You just gave it to him!
Me. I've got 1 minute to live, you
Okay,
sons of bitches.
okay.
Green, if it's flashing green still, is it still flashing green?
Yeah, 1 flash of green.
So you want to hit yellow, which is to the right now.
Yes.
Okay. Now what?
It's still doing something?
What?
Yeah, now it went to red. Green, red.
It went green, red? Okay, so then you're going to press
20 seconds.
then
Hopefully I have a code at the bottom. 4
Okay,
letters,
go green.
number 1 in the window.
Can you go green, yellow again and see what happens? Like, is it Simon Says where it's just going to keep going?
Yeah, he's got to do it. It's going to extend each time.
What?
So if he pressed if he pressed yellow and then
Did he just explode? Is that what that noise was? There's no cleaning agent. Hello?
It'd be yellow green. So he'd push yellow and then green.
I don't think he's there. I think he exploded in his
Did he really explode?
I have no idea. Rip Dan. I got sad Dan music. How did I get sad Dan music?
Yeah, Dan's dead. Or Will's dead. It blew him right out of the chair. Okay,
I love the showmanship.
Okay, the Simon Says thing is so confusing. So first off, I asked if you had any strikes. You said no.
No, I said I had 1. I had 1.
But he had 1, which changes which button you're supposed to push. So then I had to backtrack, and I got confused on which button you're pushing and which button is blinking. Dan came in and almost got some traction on that one, and we still dropped the ball on it.
So the sequence will lengthen by 1 each time, like the old board game. Like
and eventually he'll have to push 4 buttons to get through it.
Yeah, so we needed to just keep going. We just stopped instead of keep going.
Oh, however, there's more. If the serial number on the bomb contains a vowel, it changes the color scheme again.
I saw that after I already got to press a button. I was like, oh, I guess we got lucky. So
maybe that would have changed it. Okay, so when the red one flashed, and then of course Cleaning Agent's colorblind, so that doesn't help us at all.
Nope.
So like when the red one flashes, if there's no strikes and there's no vowels, he would push the blue button.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with Wonderful D. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
What did Wonderful D say? Sad Dan? Oh, confusing. What's confusing is how little you care about blowing up Cleaning Agent. We cared a little bit. There was concern.
A little bit.
For the Simon Says, if you want, you can also do up, down, left, and right. That works too. It'll just take us an extra. It'll take us an extra second because it's written down in colors for us.
Yeah,
but it does point to where they are. So
well, it's written black and white, but they spell out the colors. So this is more for Cleaning Agent to read the manual than it is for us to do it.
Oh, does my green screen? Wait, what? The green screen shouldn't lock out the green buttons.
The green screen theoretically shouldn't affect your game, but I'm not looking at the screen.
No, it shouldn't.
My chroma key shouldn't affect that at all.
Did we want to try this one more time?
I would rather play this and talk about fucking Covenant at this point.
Not gonna get high scores on Covenant today, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. The movie's fantastic.
All right. Are we going?
We'll
are we going here?
All
right.
Let's do one more and then we'll get into our rating.
Okay.
I'll do 2.3 instead and hope it doesn't have Simon Says, because I still don't think you guys know what the hell you're doing.
It's-
Shut up, we're fine.
That's the most complex one I've seen so far.
Yeah, it was sweet. Okay, we got 4 modules, 3 strikes, 5 minutes. Here we go.
Okay.
For us, there was no green buttons or lights. That's weird.
Maybe Rello's colorblind.
Yeah, probably. Sounds like me. All right, here we go. I've got a hold button. I think it's green. I also have a map, the maze.
Oh, okay.
Dan,
do the
you do the maze. I'm gonna go for the button.
Okay.
All right.
So where are your 2 white dots?
And what color is the button?
Where are the 2 dots?
The circles. So we've got column 3, second row, and column 1, first row. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth row.
Got it.
What color is your button?
I believe. Oh no, that's like orange. I think it's orange.
Where is the white dot?
White dot is first column, second row. And the red triangle is second column for fifth row, like right next to the circle.
Okay, well, there's no orange. It's either yellow or red, buddy.
Go all the way
it's
down.
Yellow. It's yellow.
Go all the way down.
Just a second. Who am I going with? Button
Go with me.
or
All the way down. All the way down.
How do I do this? All the way down. I can only go left or down. I see.
Once you're all the way down, go right 1 and then go up 1. And if you told me correctly, that should be the end of it.
Correct. Done.
Cool.
Button.
Okay, hold the button down.
It's
Tell me what
hold.
color.
I don't know. Yellow.
5 in any position. If the timer has a 5 in any position, let go of the button.
Sure. Green. Good work. All right,
Okay.
we've got Greek. We're going Greek.
All right.
Backwards E with 2 dots above.
Got it.
A little squiggly loop. I don't know what that is. It's like a handwritten A almost. A circle with a line at the bottom, like a human head with neck, and then a star.
I don't see any row that has all of those.
Okay, give those to me again.
So a backwards E, like it's a backwards C, but an E.
Okay.
2 dots above it.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
that one.
And then like a handwriting A, so it's like it's a circle with a secondary
Okay,
loop. At
I
the
got
end.
that. Yeah.
And then a big circle with a line at the bottom.
Okay,
so
I
it
got
just looks
that.
like a stickman head.
Yeah.
And then a star.
Okay, it's gonna be
Oh,
E with the
okay.
2 dots.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the circle with the little line hanging off the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the lowercase a and then the star.
Done. And then we got it's a word lock, I guess. It's got like 6 words for buttons, and then up top it has it just says you are, and then there's like 3 little, I don't know, switches at the side. I don't know what it is.
Subject to who's on first. Read the display and use step 1 to determine which button label to read. Using the button label, use step 2 to determine. What the fuck?
2 minutes. No worries.
I'm down in Morse code.
What are the 2 words?
You are on the screen, and then the 6 words are what with a question mark, next, hold, done, your, and uh-huh.
Okay.
I see. Oh, you are. Okay, yeah. The bottom right one.
Uh-huh.
Wait. Okay, you are. Give me the next word.
For the buttons, it's
Yeah.
what, next, hold, done, your, uh-huh. Minute 20.
It's what, done, hold.
What?
No,
that's a big-
stop.
Oh, okay. Now it says hold on.
It says hold on.
Yeah, and the buttons are changed. It's done. You are, you're, just you are. Oh, shit. Spelled, you are abbreviated, and then a U. 50 seconds.
Okay, I've got your abbreviated. You are. Oh,
Yeah.
you mean the letters you are?
There's one with letters you are, and there's one you're abbreviated.
Okay.
And then there's a spelled out fully you are.
Oh,
30
fuck me.
seconds.
I'm not sure where we're at.
What the actual fuck are we doing on this one?
Oh my
One says
gosh.
done, one says and one says you, just the letter U. I got 19 seconds. I'm just gonna start clicking.
Done. You are.
Oh, the done got me a big old buzzer. I got 7 seconds. There.
We're dead. He's
They
dead.
apostrophe RA. First what? Nothing.
I'm giving up. Bye, cleaning agent. Did he die?
Do you even understand that puzzle?
Not a whole lot. So I don't know what he's seeing. So I need a better description from Clean. But from what I understand, push the first button that appears in its corresponding list. So if he has a list that's like ready, I don't know. I don't
Read
quite
the
understand
display.
I don't know what he's seeing. I haven't played that module, so I don't know what he's
No, me
seeing.
neither.
And so
You
I
read
don't
the
know
display.
how to like what he's describing to me, but I see that there's all these words like ready, first, no, blank, nothing, yes, what,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
depending on what he has, we have this list of words, and he's gonna have some of those, and kind of like the Greek blocks, we just gotta tell him which ones go first, right? I think.
Yeah, it's this one. The subject of who's on first. Correct. So. Oh, I guess you didn't know the order I was saying the words.
Oh,
as the
actually,
button.
I was missing a step. Read the display and use step 1 to determine which button label to read. Using this button label, use step 2 to determine which button to push. Repeat until the module has been disarmed. Based on the display, read the label of the particular button. Okay, so if he has yes, then we go with the second one down?
Yeah.
I don't get how that applies.
The display word always has multiple words on the display. So whatever those words are should bring you to the button you need to push in that order.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's just take it as the first 3. If the display was saying yes first display, you would give me the second word down on the first column.
Okay, second word down on the first column.
First word on the second column, and then the third word on the second column. That would
Okay.
be the code.
And then
I
that
think.
gets us to step 2.
Ooh, what's step 2? Oh shit.
Step 2, using the label from step 1, push the first button that appears in its corresponding list.
Holy, what the?
See,
frick?
that one pops off. That one's tough.
I want to see it on your screen because I really don't feel like I'm getting this.
I can. I'm dead.
Well, let's
Dan.
give
get
Dan
it.
the bomb. Let's give Dan the bomb. Let's see how he does. Me and Clean will try and walk him
Christ.
through.
Yeah, sure.
The problem with this isn't giving me the bomb. The problem is getting me to figure out how to use OBS. Okay.
It's easy. I
I don't
if I
believe
can
you.
figure it out, you can figure it out.
I have more faith in you than I do in myself.
Dan,
Oh.
Brian walked me through it just like he walked me into a bomb.
Well, you don't even have to use OBS, do you? I mean, just switch your scene so that it's showing you in your gameplay.
Yeah, you're the host, so you should be able to just switch that. Yeah.
Okay, keep talking. There it is. I have also never loaded this.
Talking. There we go.
Play, keep talking. Yes, that sounds great.
Chat.
What's up, Tadpole?
I think you would have done better than all of them combined.
Why isn't Cleaning Agent streaming? I wanted to time the boom sticker for when he blows up.
Smart.
Okay.
I kind of just want Dan to die now.
Wow.
How do you spell covenant?
Covenant.
A-N-A-T. No,
A-N-T.
Covenant.
I've done it so many times that it's hard to do in my head.
Okay, thank you. We're all trying to multitask here.
Yeah.
Clean's eating peanuts, and Dan and I are typing keys.
They're actually.
Look at that! Look at that
Nerds.
stern
Big
concentration on Dan's face.
No.
There's only so many things I can do at the same time.
My limit is 1, man.
We've noticed.
I don't even do one thing very well, to be honest.
Read the display and use step 1 to determine which button label to read.
Okay.
Button label.
So if we do that, then you guys can see the bomb. I'm gonna move the screen.
I can
over.
just cover up the screen. Don't worry about showing me.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just trying to get it on. Like I'm trying to make sure the bomb is on screen.
Oh yeah.
Select the bomb, pick it up. Okay. Next, cut the blue wire in the top middle module.
He's going through how to play the game, so it'll take a second.
Oh, okay.
A new bomb was just placed on the table. Pick up the new bomb. Select the big button in the module and press the big button. Try to rotate this with Oh, okay. The rotating's a little bit weirder than I would have thought, but okay.
You get used to it real fast.
Have you guys ever had 2 bombs? I guess
No.
not. You ever need
Not yet. No, we're
finished.
rookies, and I'm never gonna get past rookie status unless I find some.
Oh, okay.
And then Dan, if you want to, the first bomb might be easy, but you could try it.
I don't think I have another option at the moment.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm just gonna go
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
for the first bomb.
You have to start with.
All right, I'm gonna scroll
All right.
way up through the pages because we're not down in Dan's not down in that range yet. I don't think.
This screen's for me only.
Okay.
We got a bomb with 5 minutes on it.
All right, I'm ready when you are. Give me the first module, and then
All right,
we'll take the second module.
Greek letters, and Will, you got wires.
Okay, Greek letters is easy. Go ahead and read them off to me.
Happy face, upside down P, C with a dot in it, a 3 that looks like it's a snake.
Okay, got
not
this
the
one.
that not the kid one. It's like a 3 and then like another loop underneath it with devil ears on top.
Okay, I got that one.
Okay,
You ready? It's smiley face, upside down P, C with a dot, then the snaky thing.
perfect. Green light. All right, wires.
How many?
I got
How many?
4.
Okay.
1 black, 2 yellow, 1 red.
Okay, so 1 red.
And Brian, I've got a yellow button.
Okay, go into buttons.
There's more than 1 red. Okay, otherwise, if the last wire is yellow and there are no reds, what color?
There's
do you have
1
yellow?
red. There's 1 red.
Oh, no reds. Okay. Do you have exactly 1 blue wire?
I have no blue wires.
More than 1 yellow wire?
Yes, I have 2 yellow wires.
Cut the last wire.
All right, Dan, you're gonna hold the
Green
button
light.
down. You're gonna tell me the color, and I'm gonna tell you a number.
It is blue.
It's gonna be a 4 in any position.
All right. Nailed it.
Woo! Yeah.
I don't know how Cleaning Agent died twice. That's really easy.
I didn't die on that one. And you've got an expert working with you now. And run 7.
Well, I can also see colors. As it turns out, that's helpful.
Yeah, that's real helpful
Hey.
in this game.
I didn't think any of the colors really threw us.
Oh, there's a leaderboard with us. We can actually see how we're doing. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's try a harder one. Let's
Yeah,
get me
go
killed.
to the hardest one. Let's
The
decide who
hardest
says-
one?
Yeah, that you can do.
Okay, pick up the pace.
Yeah.
Pick up the pace. Reading this is read this only uses up time you don't have. Chop chop. 3 minutes, 3 modules, 3 strikes.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Ah!
I still don't understand that display thing. It's wacky.
All right. Looks like we've got. Oh shit! We've got 2 of the displays and an abort button. I'm not
Well,
even
let's
kidding.
start with the display. We might as well figure it out right now.
Two displays?
The
Oh,
big
shit.
word is okay. The big word is okay.
The display word at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then-
what is the second column first word in the buttons?
Like.
Like.
Okay.
Like. Okay. So then it says using the label from step 1, push the first button that appears in this list. Okay. If you see these buttons, I'm gonna read words. If you see that word, push it.
Okay.
Your as an abbreviation. You are abbreviated to your.
Nope.
Next.
Nope.
Just the letter U.
Nope.
The letters you are.
Yep.
Your. Try that.
Red light.
Damn, what the hell is this game? What the frick?
Okay, I think I fucked that up. The word is now nothing.
The word is nothing.
Chad is yelling at me. I fucked that up.
Okay.
Oh, nothing. First column, second word.
Ready.
Ready, okay?
Yes. Okay.
Spelt out O-K-A-Y.
What?
Yep. Oh, okay.
Did that work?
Yes, now it's LED. That's my word is now LED.
So it was green though?
It is
Wait,
now,
what?
but we got to keep going. The word is now
Okay.
LED.
LED.
I don't have LED.
LED, yes. First column, second word.
Okay.
Is
Right.
right. Right.
Oh,
Right. What?
right with a W?
No. Correct.
R-I-G-H-T.
Correct,
Okay,
yes.
it's yes,
Okay.
nothing.
No, we're done.
Oh, okay, good.
The new word is nothing.
Nothing. Oh, good lord.
Good
More?
lord, this takes forever.
First column, second word, down.
Okay. Okay,
Okay, it's middle, no.
Nope. Yes. Done. Got a green light. We got 5 seconds left. I got a white abort button.
Okay, push it.
white abort
Oh,
button.
just kidding.
Okay, blue button, yellow button. To hold.
No, we're dead.
Damn it!
You're dead. Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. We want to try that again. That was actually pretty cool. I fucked that up by getting the wrong column and row thing.
You sure you're not colorblind too, you monster?
I'm pretty confident I'm not colorblind. I'm just an idiot. There's a difference. You guys good?
You want to do one more?
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
let's
We're
do
going.
one
We're
more.
live.
Oh,
We're
we're
live.
going. Hold on, I gotta cover it up.
Simon says.
Simon says I'm headed there. Hold
The
on.
green button flashed.
Green button flashed. Was
Yep.
that the bottom one? Was the green button?
The bottom green button. Where's the serial number? The serial
bottom
number.
Okay, so you're gonna press the yellow button on the right.
Wait, the serial number has a vowel in it.
Oh, hold on. It does not contain a vowel. We don't have to worry about that because it does contain a vowel.
Yes.
Then don't worry about it. It's the yellow button on the right. Push that once.
Do I hit the green button first?
No.
No.
Okay, yellow button.
One of the 4 colored buttons.
Now it's green and then blue. So what do I do after blue?
Okay, it was
I
green
guess?
and then blue. You're gonna push yellow and then red.
Okay.
Does he push them both?
Green, blue, red.
Green, blue, red is gonna be yellow, red, blue.
Done. Okay. Now I've got a white button that says hold.
Okay.
Oh,
And
fucking
there's
white
a-
buttons.
There's a 4-digit number, 4321, and I see a big 4 up in like a up in a grid.
What?
So one of you go to the white button, and one of you
Okay,
go to
I'm on-
find what
Okay.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, go to the button. Run.
I'm on the button.
Okay, I'm gonna look on the subject of memory. Fuck.
Button's blue. What color's the button and what does it say?
It's white and it says hold.
Okay.
Minute and a half.
Is there a lit indicator with the label CAR?
No, it's not lit.
But it does say CAR?
It does say CAR, but it's not lit. It's
Oh, okay. Okay, we're gonna go down and hold that button down. Go ahead and hold the button and tell me the color.
blue.
4 seconds in 4 in a position.
Got it. Okay. What's the memory one, Will?
Okay, what's the big number on display?
4.
Okay, so if the display is 4, press the button in the 4th position of the little sequence.
We're good.
Okay?
All right,
Stage
now it's
2.
1.
Display is 1. Press the button labeled 4.
Okay, we're good. Now it's 4.
Display is 4. Press the button labeled 4.
Oh, weird. Okay, it changed. All right, 4.
Wait, you finished stage 3?
No, it's 4 again. It's 4 again. Yes, I finished stage 3.
Okay,
We're on stage 4.
Okay, display is 4. Press the button in the same position as you pressed in stage 2.
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Fuck.
2. Oh, God, we have to start again?
Yeah, you have to start again.
Oh, we're dead.
No, you're dead.
Well, fair. Hefe got banned? Who banned Hefe?
God damn.
All right, that was fun. I want to play that again, but let's play. Not let's play. Let's do some R rating. What do you say?
Let's play.
Let's play
Yeah, we'll do
Rate That
Covenant
Movie.
here. We'll do Covenant here.
That was fun. That was actually better than I anticipated.
Yeah, let's get.
When we played that on your stream run, it was fun, but part of my brain was like, oh, that might not be great long term, but I actually really had a good time with
Because
that.
it amps up the levels. I think,
That gets hard fast.
interesting.
And if you could do 2 bombs, like that gets crazy.
Yeah, that would get crazy. Also,
What did chat think? Most of you stuck around, so I've got to assume you enjoyed it a little bit, but also maybe you were just lurking. Who knows? Oh, I got to fix these around. Can't have that. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did. All right.
So for those of you in my chat, we were just warming up on the bomb thing. We're going to be doing movie night. You can go over to Dan's channel on the Mongooli Show and check them out there. Sometimes we try to do streaming together. Sometimes we do restream. We're just kind of figuring things out as we go.
And if you want to catch up on some previous episodes of our rating, the link is now in the chat to go to my YouTube channel, which is the movie YouTube channel, not the Marvel Strike Force one, where you can follow along to all the older episodes of our rating as they come out live, in case you missed any. What was that face, Will?
Daddy Rorix said, "Don't involve Clean in my bomb squad," and I do not agree with such statements.
I would have you be the person reading the instructions.
I was an expert reader of the manual.
I would allow that. I don't know that I want you in the room with the bomb, although in fairness, it keeps me alive. So yeah, maybe, okay. Send in the expendables.
Hilarious.
I didn't see any
I
aliens, so
tried to
if
work
you're-
around with color. I tried to work around. I thought we did okay. Except for, dying every time.
Well, yeah, that did put a hamper on the situation. Do you have a intro, Will?
Yeah, it may be the worst intro to date.
You've said that literally every time.
Not every time, but this is a new
Enough
date
times.
where it got worse. So here we go. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'm gonna do an intro to the show, and then we'll cut to you whenever. So no
good.
pressure. I just want to make sure you had one.
Yeah, no worries.
I had something
Reminder,
I wanted to say.
Brian, don't cough while we're recording the intro, please.
If you can help it,
I'll
that'd
do
be
my
wonderful.
best. No guarantees.
No promises.
I was hoping Dan was actually going to start before I said that, but he didn't.
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Our Rating, the show where I get together with a couple of my buddies and we discuss movie franchises, break them down by movie, and go over them. Now, we've discussed movies in the past, and I've found that when I really, really like a movie, I've got a lot to say about it. And when I really, really hate a movie, I've got a lot to say about it. But when something is kind of middling, I find it really hard to discuss. So today we're talking about Alien Covenant, and I got a whole lot to say. And then we'll cut to the music or whatever and then come back to you. Because it doesn't really tell them whether I liked it or hated it, but it tells me that there's going to be passion, which is probably accurate.
Now, I can cough during Will's thing, right?
Oh,
Yes.
cough all you want.
Absolutely.
In fact, we can just minimize Will if you want to just, hawk something up.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
All right, ready? Alien Covenant. In case you did not notice the alien in the previous installation of the franchise, they put it back into the title. And because Fassbender was the only well-received part of the previous installment, they just made him both the protagonist and antagonist in this installment. That's it.
I mean, he's right. We do double down on the Fassbender, don't we?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And, well, for good reason. Like, as much as I was impressed with him last time, he's also really good in this one.
Yeah. He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, no, Ultimate Chaos, there's going to be a ton of spoilers coming up here. Don't you worry. Brian, are you writing down your score as we speak?
No, I wrote them down a while ago. I'm trying to find them, but I'm like 8 pages back in my notes, man. I swear, I should find a better method than just paper.
Yeah, I'd use a Google
Oh,
Doc.
crap. I didn't write them down. I got to go from memory on this one. Uh-oh.
Well, we usually adjust your scores as we go.
Yeah, we're going to really adjust them this time, huh?
It's going to be interesting. Oh,
All right.
man.
Let's do this thing.
Absolutely.
While
Run's trying to figure
I'm
it
going
out.
to take notes while we talk here and see if I can't figure some stuff out. And then we'll just do some math. We'll pause. He can edit out the math so I'm not sitting there doing calculator stuff at the end.
The more time Dan has for editing, the better, right?
Absolutely. Let's just bullshit for a little bit longer if we can.
So,
Okay.
So right off the bat, we do get more Fassbender, right? We have him playing 2 characters. And I gotta say, I liked both of them, and they were cool. And one of the most interesting and just kind of mind-bending moments in this movie for me was when he is teaching himself how to play the flute. And they're standing there interacting with each other as the camera is slowly panning around, and I forget that this is the same person. I watch it again and again, and I keep forgetting that this is the same person playing both roles. And the only time this has ever happened to me before is probably just recently in Sonic 3 when Jim Carrey plays himself and his grandfather and they do a dance duet, which is pretty good. Another movie though.
So what you're saying is your favorite part of this movie is when Michael Fassbender is fingering himself.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
just
go with
wanted to make sure that was okay.
You just really, as soon as I said flute, I was like, yeah, I know where this is going, but whatever, let's go for it. Yeah, I thought that was amazing. Again, his acting in this movie was stellar.
If we're gonna go straight to that part, I don't disagree. I think Michael Fassbender did an amazing job where he was playing two different roles, and he wasn't. If you've never seen the movie, A, why are you watching this? But B, what we're seeing is David, the android from 10 years ago, the first or the prototype, and I believe it's Walter, who is the next generation android. Now, Walter is a bit more sophisticated and has like an American accent, whereas David has like a British accent, and Michael Fassbender pulls both of those off brilliantly so that you can always tell who exactly you're looking at. Well, theoretically.
Well,
just by the way he talks. Okay, fair. They tried to pull it off that you couldn't, but yeah, I'm with you. Now, my question for you is David... Okay, so David brings up some like Walter is more of a servant, whereas David is more of a free thinker.
Right.
But Walter corrects David a couple of times. So is David smarter than Walter, or is David inherently flawed?
This is a great question. David, the one who is the older model, who is supposed to be the inferior one, who does have some obvious problems. I mean, he's psychotic. He shows Walter that there is humanity in him, that he has a soul or is capable of love, by showing his reaction to, I want to say Shaw. I'm getting the characters. Shaw was from the previous movie.
Yeah,
What's her name? Right?
It's Shaw.
It is Shaw? Oh.
Elizabeth Shaw, yeah.
All right. So he kind of he teaches Walter that he is more than the subservient robot that he believes him to be. And yet Walter shows how David is flawed, and it's a really interesting dynamic.
Now, I'd argue a little bit that just because you kiss somebody forcibly doesn't mean you love.
No, Walter protects her and loses his hand.
No, I know. But I'm just saying David's form of showing love is kissing himself.
Right.
And other ladies that he wants to disembody. So I don't know. Maybe he doesn't quite understand what love is, but
yeah, I would say twisted appreciation more than a love, kind of.
Or maybe obsession.
Yeah, she did put him back together, and she was more kind to him than anybody in that first movie. So I get that.
Now, he talks about loving her, but does he not also speak of having killed her? Because doesn't he threaten Daniels, I think it is, saying, I'm going to do the same thing I did to you. I'm going to do the same thing to you that I did to her. And he's clearly talking about like experimenting on her or something. Like, so when he says, I loved Shaw, does he even know what that word means?
That's kind of one of them debatable things, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's the idea. It's like David believes he can love. I think he believes he understands what love is. Whether that is what humans feel and believe love is I think two different things. I think David spends a lot of time, for how much he hates humans and how much he thinks he's superior to them, he wants to have all of the same feelings and I don't know, things that human have, except for the flaws, of course, which is in his eyes aging, and I think that's the only one. People hate each other and they're greedy and everything else, but so is he at this point, right? Like, he just wants to be a god and create his own life at this point, right? And he's doing that in a way he found a way to do that because he can't obviously make love and create life that way, but he is doing it in the same way the engineers do it.
His form of love is almost like love without emotion, right? There's no emotion behind it. It's a fascination or an appreciation or even a curiosity. And he extrapolates that into love because he doesn't have the capability for emotion, kindness, caring, hatred, none of that really. Maybe hatred,
Yeah.
maybe a distaste for somebody else, but I think it's more of just a desire to be more than what humans are treating him as. Not even really a hatred towards them. He just wants to prove that he's more than the servant that they want him to be.
I mean, he does say he also wants them to go extinct.
Right.
Yeah.
So
For all of his hatred of humanity and the engineers and people who created him, he certainly has a love for the arts that humans have created.
Mm-hmm.
Like many times he shows appreciation for both poetry and music.
for sure.
But
And he's got his sketches and things. Like he's all about art. And in the beginning of the movie, you know, he's looking at the statue of David. So I think Wayland, the creator, instilled a lot of that from his own, you know, enjoyment of the arts and things. And so he put that into David's programming probably.
But I mean, we're way off topic here with this one, but there are correlations between computer sentience and artistic patterns of such complex recognition that the pattern becomes an art form. And so it could be that David sees art as super complex forms of some sort of a communication or something, and he believes himself to reach an artistic level because he is so complex. And that's where that distinction between machine and soul begins, because a lot of people might think that the human wet brain is just a computer that's so incredibly complex that we now have a soul, and it's just layers of complexity. There's a lot to that, and that's not really what this movie is about. But I think that could be an interesting way to look at his appreciation for the arts, is that it's just supremely complex pattern recognition.
Sorry.
And let's point out the fact that we jump into this movie and we're all about androids and souls and art and hatred and emotion and all this. And we're not even talking about aliens. Right?
I know.
And they went out of their way to put alien in the title and put some aliens in this movie as opposed to the previous one.
So I think this group here talking now feels that Prometheus wasn't the best movie, but it was a good sci-fi movie and it asked a lot of great big questions. Unfortunately, it didn't answer as many as it maybe should have, but it set up for this sequel. And so I think that's why we just gravitate naturally to that. And we also were talking about Fassbender, so that kind of just leads into it naturally. Whereas a lot of people, when they saw Prometheus, were upset that there wasn't enough alien in an alien movie. And Ridley Scott was on the book saying, I wanted to make a different movie because I felt the fan base was tired of just the same old alien running down the hallways and killing people. And then Prometheus got hit hard with bad reviews. And then he's like, oh, I was wrong. People still wanted that. I think in reality, Ridley Scott was tired of the alien running down the hallway bit and wanted to explore bigger ideas. And so when it came to the sequel, he had to hard adjust and try to, I don't know, wedge in both things, the bigger ideas from Prometheus, but also reestablish it as an alien movie, more forward facing. And I don't know how well it was a success. I felt it was kind of a train wreck.
Yeah, I don't know that the lack of aliens was the problem with Prometheus. In fact, I think Prometheus is actually pretty stellar, and we'll discuss that. I think my issue with Covenant is a lot like Brian's issue with Alien 3, I believe it was, where in the opening monologue, or not the opening monologue, the opening scenes, you see a bunch of flashes, and basically it takes away and destroys everything that was built on Alien 2, Aliens, sorry, which is Brian's favorite movie. I feel like Prometheus was actually pretty darn good and set up a lot of really interesting questions that this could have answered, or at least, taken the ball and run with it. And instead, it almost went out of its way to kind of crap on everything that came before it. And that really bothered me. Like, I don't know where you guys land on this one, but like the way Brian said watching the Alien 3, I can't remember the wording you used, but like you were offended by that movie because of the things it did to Aliens. Like it almost made Aliens worse retroactively. I feel that about this movie. Like I feel like this one did so much damage to the lore of the franchise coming before it that I don't know. Like you keep saying you want a third David to finish off the trilogy. I'm terrified of what they would do if they had a third movie and where they would go, because so much of it now doesn't really make sense to me, or will have to be completely shoehorned in to make any logical leap. And I just liked my Aliens before this movie. I'm actually kind of sad I've seen this movie now.
I hear you, Dan, and I understand what you're saying, because I was a purist of the Alien franchise. Alien Resurrection bothered me a lot because they changed the alien into a monster movie and it was terrible. But I found out that there is alien lore, especially in novels and comic books and stuff, where the aliens are a virus. It's viral. It's the goo. And that's what we get in Prometheus, and it is more thoroughly explained in Covenant. And we see the planet having utilized the goo that is, to change life into other forms. And we have what could have been done better, but we have explanations from David explaining how he nurtured the xenomorph goo into the alien that we found in Alien and Aliens. And that was his creation, his gift, which he utilized Shaw from the Prometheus movie to do that. One thing they don't mention is how we get an egg. So I think that somehow David made a queen alien come out of Shaw, and that queen laid the eggs, which gave the face huggers, which carried on into this movie, giving us the traditional, original alien xenomorph that we've seen in the film. I didn't like this at first, Dan, either. I didn't like it because it changed everything we knew about aliens, and it was all about this viral passing into people, and like we had different ways, like the one virus popped out of the guy's back, which was a really cool, scary sequence. We could talk about that later. I'll give you
that it was cool, but it made no sense.
Right.
Well, in the Alien universe.
In the Alien universe, because we're not used to it.
This movie.
We're not used to people being we're used to people being impregnated by a facehugger, and now they're being virally attacked, right? And we saw that with Holloway when he had it dipped in his water. And now we're dealing with this goo and how the goo interacts with people and changes it. We saw a little bit of that change in Alien 3 with the dog ox alien that came out, right? That was facehugged by the facehugger went on a different creature, and we got a little bit different variants. And they just kind of took that way further than I was comfortable with. I've accepted it, right? And so it wasn't what I wanted, but thank God it wasn't Alien Resurrection. The stories
I would take Alien Resurrection over this one.
Oh man, get out of here! You're absolutely wrong.
After watching, not Romulus, I haven't seen Romulus yet. After watching Prometheus and Covenant, I've got my own theory now of how everything connects within all the movies I've seen up until this point, and Romulus might blow this whole thing out of the water. But I haven't read any of the comic books or novelettes or any of that stuff. So my theory might be way out of whack anyway.
I don't know if I'm going to...
Oh, you want me to go into it?
I want to hear this. This is what we're here for.
Okay, so here's my breakdown. As far as I know, it seems to me the only thing that makes sense is that aliens already exist in the world, and that engineers found those aliens and extracted and or created the black goo via reverse engineering from the species, the xenomorph species. And that explains why in Prometheus, you see the mural of the alien in like a crucifix position, like they almost worship them or revered them in some way because they allowed the engineers to become creators and become gardeners, they call them, and, you know, create Earth and people and whatnot. Now, the eggs are a whole nother issue, but it makes sense that aliens existed prior to engineers because there was the eggs that David creates, but there's also the eggs on the abandoned ship crashed in the original Alien movie that was supposed to be like thousands of years old, well before David ever created aliens. So that's like my belief that aliens are already an existing species and engineers utilize that species to create the goo that can either create life or destroy it. They can use it either way. And it also, in Prometheus, I felt like the goo was slightly different when they ingested it to create life and when they used it to destroy life. Now, on top of that, I feel then that David believes he engineered the goo into xenomorphs, but he just re-engineered something that was already in existence. And he believes he created. He believes he is now a god because he can create life, but he's actually just furthering the evolution process back to the original creature that already exists. He just doesn't know it. And he gets to the point of getting them back to an egg-like thing. Now, Run asked, maybe he created a queen, how to get the egg. Maybe only David can tell us what came first, the chicken or the egg. But that's my theory. I don't know if it makes any sense, but it kind of makes sense that it encompasses all the movies and all the different aliens and why there's eggs sometimes and not other times. That's how I feel it in my head, but it could be way out left field.
So I also had that joke about the chicken and the egg thing because we get the eggs. We don't really get a queen. We have no discussion of the queen. And my understanding is the way David is looking at the alien that comes out of the captain, whose name I'm blanking on. I feel like that's the first time he's seen a typical xenomorph, like what we would expect to see. Maybe I'm wrong on that because he has the face huggers, but he has no biological thing for the face huggers to attach to.
Correct, on this desolate planet now, yeah.
I read a similar theory to what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
And I hate everything about it. Because it makes this movie even less like I don't know what the point of this movie is to begin with, but if you're telling me that he didn't even create the xenomorphs and the xenomorphs were already around, it makes the movie make even less like why does this movie exist? Like, Prometheus raised a lot of interesting questions, and this one just kind of went like, nah, fuck all that. Like, we don't really want to talk about any of that nonsense. And it really bugs me because, like, I love the alien ship in Alien, where they find it, and it's like, this guy is fossilized. Like, he's been there for centuries. And now we see him be like, you know what? Actually, like, David created these things 9 years before this. So this has been here for 9 years or less. What? No, I don't love any of that.
In my theory, David didn't create them, right?
I know, but then why does this movie? Like, what is the point of this movie if it's not to show that David created aliens?
I think it's kind of like what Brian said. This is a trilogy of David. This is the android story. This is exploring who created who and that whole mystery of life. And that's all it is. It just happens to be based in the alien universe and gives further depth to the alien lore. I mean, what more purpose do you need?
If there's a third David movie for the David trilogy that Brian keeps talking about, what you're gonna have is David fly away in his spaceship and discover another alien ship and be like, "Hey, I found these cool," or an engineer spaceship, and be like, "Oh shit, aliens exist here, so I didn't create them. I guess I suck," and that's the end of the movie. Like, I don't understand how this is satisfying when it's wrapped up. Like, I don't like the idea whatsoever of David having created the aliens, but I really hate the idea of it like happening so quickly. And then it's like, no, you didn't actually do anything. They were already around. Like, it's just
okay. So
everything about this movie.
One thing is like, is David inferior to humans? Is he inferior to engineers? He has a god complex, so at some point he has to fall. He is an antagonist, right? He can't just go around destroying the universe and overrunning everything with aliens. So either way, he's gonna lose and find out either he didn't do it, he's not as good as he was or thinks he is, or something, right? Something's got to give on that.
Okay, so
That's just
a lot
proper
of this is going
storytelling.
on the foundation that you think that David didn't create the xenomorphs, but I really do think that
Correct.
David did create the xenomorphs. What I believe is that the engineers utilize this form of technology, this biological technology, and they use that to they use that technology combined with their own DNA, broke it down, and poured themselves into the river of Earth and seeded Earth with life. And humans eventually evolved over a long period of time from that life. And then humans then come in contact with that same technology, but a weaponized form of it. Now, remember, humans being adapted from engineer biology via this technology, and then come back around and encounter it again in a weaponized form, and it kind of goes amok. And David harnesses that and steers it in a direction to perfect it, in his view, into the ultimate creature. So basically, he took what the engineers started, and then they created the humans, and then humans mucked it all up, and David came and used those pieces to create the xenomorph, which he believes is the purest form. And if you watch the movie in Covenant, you see the different iterations of the xenomorph that he creates until he comes to what he believes is the final product. But it does require more human hosts for the face hugger to go on to, which is why he just pops a android boner when she says there's 20,000 people on the colony ship, because he's like, ooh, I get a lot of practice there. So I think that's what it is. And I would love to see the David trilogy finalized, because there are so many unanswered questions, like, how do we get those eggs? How do we get the eggs in the movie Alien? Where do they come from? Where's going to be the connection to Alien Earth that's coming out soon on Hulu, which I'm very curious to see how that ties into things. Is that going to be the colony ship that David took and he takes it to Earth and we have an apocalyptic TV show? I don't know. There's a lot of questions there, but I really want the trilogy to happen. I do believe that David created aliens as his thing, which is kind of weird because humans created David. Engineers created humans. All this kind of creation stuff.
No,
you're right. It's real messy. It's real messy.
Don't like yours
I liked
because of
Alien
those plot holes, because of the plot hole of the alien mural already on the engineer ship and the alien eggs already on the engineer ship in the first movie. That doesn't line up timeline.
Right.
And then my theory obviously isn't perfect either. There's a problem with engineers. If they created aliens or already created the goo from the alien species, wouldn't they have all kinds of documentation or information about that David had like 10 years on a planet of them to find and utilize and discover? Like, it doesn't make any sense that David wouldn't find that out, right?
Okay.
So that's a huge plot hole in my theory for sure.
Yeah. I do want to clarify. We are to believe that the planet he finds and the aliens on that planet are engineers, right?
Yes. That's
Why
supposed to
do
be the
they all
engineer's
look like
homeworld.
Cavemen.
Yeah, because that's a great question, because in my mind, and Prometheus are like, let's go to their home planet and ask them why. And then they show up on this planet that looks like it is pretty much just innocent, very early technological band of people who just straight up die, have no defenses against a weapon they in theory created.
Well, and
it doesn't make any sense.
They seriously look like they're wearing rags and like staring up at this spaceship. Like they've got their own floating scorpion tail thing, but they're looking up at the spaceship like they've never seen one before. Like they're all like, "Ooh!"
To me, it looks like
blew my mind.
It looked like at first they were like almost praising it, and then it turned to, oh damn, this is death. To me, it felt like this was another Earth that they gardened and grew this civilization.
Very well could be that
like
their society threw off the shackles of technology and went to more of like a Buddhist style method, and those are their robes that they wear, and they've given up technology for generations, and so when they see the ship come in, they're astounded. They don't know if it's maybe they took that weaponized technology and put it on a planet so that they would lose that knowledge because they knew it was going to destroy themselves. I mean, there's a lot of things. Another thing that could be tied up in a trilogy.
For sure, and that's
all
the
things
thing.
they didn't explain or touch on whatsoever.
Yeah, but again, a trilogy in theory could at least put some closure to it. Maybe.
But I think it's a big challenge. Big challenge to try and tie up all these loose ends. But I mean, so we started with Prometheus, which was a movie that wasn't supposed to be an alien movie, and they forced it in there, and it was a great movie without it being an alien movie.
Yeah, and
it kind of messed up what we loved about Aliens, but this trilogy also opens up the possibility of a way wider expanse for where this could go with a viral like alien rather than just this animalistic style alien. And I don't like that as much.
I don't want it to open that door.
I don't want it to either, but that door's wide open. That's the canon now. So there you go.
That sucks.
I mean, let's look.
You said yourself, you're the biggest Alien fan here. You said you had to make your peace with it.
I did, and I made my peace with it, and it sucked. It was a hard pill to swallow. But you know what? If you put aside that this movie fucks up the Alien franchise in that way, these Prometheus and Covenant are entertaining, really cool sci-fi movies.
I don't feel like Prometheus messes with the Alien lore nearly as much as this one does.
Well, I think this one tries to shore up what Prometheus fucked up, is what I think they're trying to do.
I think it was like, what was it, Fox or Disney? I don't know which it was at the time.
Would have been Fox.
They were like, whoa. The fans hated that there was no aliens. This has to be an alien horror movie with chases and deaths. And Ridley Scott was like, okay, just write the stupidest death scenes ever imaginable and put it in this movie. It was so bad. This is not a good movie.
No.
What's wrong with the death scenes?
They're horrible. The characters are horrible.
What, the head floating in the fountain didn't appeal to you?
Cool. I'll give you the fountain. It was cool.
I've got a couple of questions here.
Oh, I got so many.
Here's a question, okay? In this movie, how many characters did you like or empathize with?
3.
Which ones?
Okay, well, David and Walter were 2. I loved both of those versions of the characters. I wouldn't say I empathized with them. They're
but you like them. That's fine. That's fine.
I liked Edwards. Was it Edward? Am I saying her name right? The lead female actress. Daniels. Sorry. She was okay. Daniels. She's no Sigourney Weaver by a long shot, but she was decent. I could get on board with her. Having to wake up out of cryo sleep and then see your husband incinerated right in front of your face was super duper shocking, kind of unreal. I don't get why they ignited him in the tube or whatever.
Thank you.
It was lazy writing.
Lazy writing, sure. I know. Hey, they put a beam through Newt, and that was realistic, and I still hated it. They lit this guy on fire in his cryo tube, and I was like, oh, whatever. Whatever, but it was a shocking sequence, and she dealt with it, and she kind of got over it and moved forward from it. And her and I think it was Tennessee is the other character. Yeah. I liked Tennessee. Okay. I felt like they tried to go back to Alien, how these were people that you could kind of relate to. They were spacefaring and super futuristic and everything, but they were also this kind of somewhat down to earth faction, even though I didn't really get with their whole church thing, but they were just trying to resettle, they were settlers, and they seemed
a
little closer to
fucking settlers I've ever seen.
I didn't think so.
Wait.
I was okay with them.
Settlers though, they're the transport, they're the scientists. The settlers are the ones in cryo that'll
but they were too. They signed up to just be the mission crew for the settle. Yeah, they were going to be 100%. Settling this planet with them. They were just also the mission crew.
Yes, but as the mission crew, they were they had doctors, they had scientists, they had geologists. They had the smart people to make sure that the planet
did not act very smart. I will agree. No. The smartest in their group did not act very smart. The truck drivers of the group were doing the right things, and these scientists were acting scared and irrational.
Your definition of the right thing is taking a crew of 2,000 people through a heavily guarded atmosphere to try and save 4 people?
That's cool, man. Let's go.
No, those people are fucking idiots.
No. Okay, so
you don't risk 2,000 people for 7.
Hey, it worked.
Well, they
It
got
worked.
two
In the
people
end,
out
it
of
was the right move. He knew his ship. He
Was
knew
it,
what to
though?
do. You're right. It was.
David's got them all.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're all dead now.
Yeah, it's true.
You're also
Okay,
taking
so-
their lunar lander, which is like one of their only vehicles, and they're like, well, it only has to work once. Like, no, like you're gonna shuttle a planet. You're probably gonna need this thing more than once. Be like, nah, it's fine. Fuck it. We'll just destroy it.
Okay,
Getting two people back.
their actions, whatever. Were those people relatable in the characters, the way they acted, their emotions? I felt yes. We talked about
Dan?
that in the first movie. We liked that those people were down to earth, that they were relatable. I could relate to a handful of the characters in this movie, the ones that had more lines. The military guys, they were completely forgettable. The scientist characters did really stupid things, were scared all the time, and made tons of mistakes, and they were not very relatable. But the leftover crew on the ship, and Edwards, and even the androids, I could get in with, and they were characters I could attach myself to.
Okay, I'm okay with the androids. I don't feel like you can empathize with them, but you can enjoy them because they're good, and it's Fassbender, and he's great,
Right.
Yeah.
obviously. So I'll give you 2 because you said the main character, who I disagree with hard. I felt she was a wet
I was okay with
noodle.
Daniels.
And I didn't mind Danny McBride either. I felt he was the only one that felt to me like a character out of the original Alien, like people. He felt like a down-to-earth person, and yes, he could make a bad call, but you understand why, because he cares. He wants to see his wife, that and that.
He was shook up by that call, and I felt that. That was a great, like, I understood what was going on. It made sense to me, even though it was an illogical move.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll give you that one. But the rest of them are just cannon fodder and make the most horrendous decisions throughout the movie that it just takes me out so fast.
Constantly splitting the group. Yeah.
It did it in Prometheus as well, but it bothered me more in this one for some reason.
Because there were worse decisions.
Dan, what about yourself? Did you
I
connect with
don't
anybody?
know
Did
that
you
I
care?
liked David.
Yeah.
But I
Okay.
liked his performance. Like I liked watching Michael Fassbender, even though I hated him the entire time. Like at no
But that's
point
the
did
thing.
I. No, I get it.
Did you enjoy hating him? Right. That's the other way you could go about it.
I was.
Or do you just hate because he's creating aliens? You can't even go near it.
So there's so many things there. Like I think Michael Fassbender's doing a fantastic job. As I said, the 2 different accents between the 2 characters. Like every time, even I rewatched a little bit of it just before we got live. He does a really, really solid job with that, and I really like that it shows that they're like upgrading and changing. They didn't just make another David; they actually did improvements. I hated so many of the things that went on around him. There's a moment I'll give it to, like, again, just praising Fassbender for a second, when he's like blowing on the nose of the horse with that white alien and the captain shoots it. The horror on his face is so genuine and realistic. Like that was
real
like,
emotion.
yeah, like you legitimately for a brief second sympathize for him because like, oh shit, like he actually does care about this thing. So like again, all the praise for Michael Fassbender, but
which was crazy because caring for that thing was so unrelatable for me, but to showcase his relation to it and feel it and know it and believe it was really incredible. Because how could anybody care about that thing? And then you're like, oh, okay, because he doesn't have human emotions. He has his android equivalents of emotions.
It's his
They're his creation. It's his baby. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that every single character in this movie throughout the entire movie was making the 100% wrong call with every call they made, and it made it incredibly hard for me to sympathize or enjoy any of their characters. Now, I think most of them ddid fine job as actors. I think Danny McBride did a fine job. I think whoever played Daniels did a fine job. I think Michael Fassbender did a wonderful job in both of his roles. Billy Crudup, I think, did a great job, even though I hated his character. I don't know how realistic it is. You put somebody that spineless and with no intelligence and no charisma in a second in command position. I don't know how you get that person that high up in the ranks. That doesn't make sense.
And why?
Vice presidents?
Can I ask this question as well? That's like my next question, though. Like, why did they write his character to be so unlikable?
I don't know.
Is there a reason?
It didn't jive. Like there was no reason for it.
It felt like so the 2 ways that you can kill characters off in movies is you either write a character that you hate, so when they die, you're like, yes, oh my God, finally.
Sure.
Or that you love, and when they die, you go, oh no. And I didn't love any of these characters, and their deaths didn't seem tragic enough. Like I didn't hate them to the point where I wanted them to die. You know what I mean? Like it's
No.
not like the lawyer from Jurassic Park where you're just like, yeah, eat them. Like it was just kind of like, okay, it happens. Like that person died. Okay,
Right.
now this person
Yeah.
died. Oh, that person who I don't even know their name just died. Like at no point was there any fear involved. No point was there any sadness involved. It was just kind of like, okay, next one. Okay,
Yeah, to me,
next one.
it felt like, oh, we need gruesome death scenes. What's the easiest way to get these people to die? And to
Yeah.
me, that's lazy writing.
I can agree with that. The scene, especially the scene.
Do they look cool? Yes.
Yeah,
The way we
the
get
scene where
there,
the alien
hate it.
pops out of the guy's back and she's locked
That
in the
was
room,
cool.
and one girl is panicking, the other's panicking, trying to get out, and she's shooting the ship up with a shotgun and doing stupid things like that. It was a very intense and exciting scene, and I was on the edge of my seat, and it didn't matter. Like, it didn't make any sense or anything. Great sequence. I just wish that I gave a shit about either of those characters. Or even the soldier who I don't even remember what he looked like. Like, he was the guy with cigarette. That's probably what his name was in the script. He was so forgettable. And no one cares about him being ripped apart from the spine out. We were more interested in how's this chick going to get out of this locked room, which was an intense sequence, but it just didn't matter. And then the whole ship blows up anyways.
I would argue that that's not the best example of a good sequence, because it was almost Evil Dead splatstick when they're just slipping on the blood.
Right,
over
yeah,
and over
slipping on the
again.
blood, yeah.
She closes her
I
foot
was wondering
in
how
the
slippery that
door.
was.
She clearly aims for a big old explosive thing that's just out in the open for no reason. It was almost laughable. Did it look great? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was so badly written that I just couldn't even buy into it.
This movie
Bad.
desperately needs an Ellen Ripley. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean a badass female character. I mean somebody literally anywhere in the chain of command who goes, hey, wait a second, guys, that's a bad fucking call. Like, that's what we liked about Ellen in the first movie. She's so relatable because she's like, maybe we don't let the infected person with an alien on his face back on the ship. Maybe we don't do that. And this one, they were just like, nah, let's break it. Like, she had them quarantined in that room with the alien. She could have waited for backup, and instead she goes in there with, I don't even fucking remember, like
some sort of like shotgun
with one bullet, slips on blood, and then it's like, and panics and has to run away. And you're just like, why didn't you just leave the damn door shut? Like, I'm sorry that person's gonna die, but like, now at least not everybody's dead.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
At no point did anybody think about anything beyond the next 8 seconds.
Also,
and that really bothered me.
So, what's her name? Edwards. I think I'm getting her name wrong. Daniels. I keep calling her Edwards. Again, not as memorable as Sigourney Weaver. Daniels did make a big protest about what they were doing in the beginning with landing on the planet, but at the same time, I'm looking at it from his perspective, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really see the downside in checking out this planet either. I know this is going to be a bad move, but I understand his want to go down there, and I don't see why she's throwing such a conniption fit over it, even though that's what like an Ellen Ripley would kind of do, but there just wasn't a basis for that fit that she was throwing.
Two things.
There was and there wasn't. Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
One, why don't they have spacesuits? Like, we've seen that they've got spacesuits because they've gone out in space. Even if you're going to a planet, even if the air is breathable, as we see in this movie, it doesn't mean that the environment
didn't do it in
is
Prometheus.
safe.
Why are they going to do it in this one?
Yeah.
Well, sure, but at least
I agree. I agree 100%. Wear a fucking spacesuit. Don't get contaminated. That is like rule number 1 from Star Trek. Like, we know this, but.
Two, they're colonizers. They're not explorers. They don't have a ship built and ready for this. I think they should have stayed on their ship. I understand the argument for like, hey, this is lazy and we're here. But this is not what you're prepared for. This is not what you like. Nobody's ever going to find you again. If for whatever reason you ever need help down the road, humanity has no idea where you are.
Will, do you have?
They think you're going to the other thing. I was just going to add, like, the movie attempts to make this a logical choice in the beginning by burning James Franco alive. Rest in peace, James Franco, for your 5-second cameo. They attempt to be like, oh shit, anything could happen in 7 years. We could go through another completely random thing that could completely screw up everything, and we could burn alive in our completely safe cryogenic unit. And so everybody's like, 7 years? Shit, this is a perfect good planet. Let's just colonize it. I get that's what they were trying to do. but it's still like everything you ever learn about anything is if you're gonna do it, you have to do it right. Take every single precaution.
Right.
Otherwise, stick to the freaking mission.
Hey guys,
NASA
we were
doesn't
gonna be
go,
on this
hey,
mission
let's
for the next
pull
like
off over here, check this out.
Exactly.
we were going to be on this mission for the next like 12 years, but instead, let's go down to this planet and let's not even wait for the storm to end. Let's just fly directly in the middle of a
Yeah.
hurricane because it's an entire planet. We
They
can
do
go
the same thing
literally
in
anywhere.
Prometheus. They land just before a big storm, and I gotta open my Christmas presents right now.
But
It
at least
doesn't
they
make
didn't
any
land in
sense.
the
Just
storm.
wait. It's been there for 2,000 years. It's not going anywhere.
Bad writing.
Yeah, for sure. Like, they literally go into the middle of the hurricane. Like, at least in Prometheus, the storm comes after the fact. This one, they're just like, cool, let's just fly into it and see what happens. And the ship almost explodes. And then the big one above them is like, well, fuck, if they can do it, let's try it with this thing. You're like, what are you doing?
Anyway, I felt there was a lot of problems with the script. I don't know if you noticed that.
I think there
Okay.
are a ton of problems with the script. None of it makes any sense. It's all forced to get you to have fun in these individual sequences.
Did you?
In the individual sequences, yes, I did. But when you put them all together, no, it kind of upsets me. And remember, my original thought for the David trilogy is that this changes what I love. And I have a very hard time accepting it. And this is one of those things. We'll circle back around when we finish the entire franchise. But there's lots of changes that were made to the franchise because of these two movies, Prometheus and Covenant. And do I like what they did in these films? Definitely not. Do I like what they could do because of these films? Possibly, but it doesn't need to happen.
Right.
Okay.
It leaves open some possibilities for interesting takes on future movies.
Sure.
Whether they choose to go down those routes or not.
One of my favorite things in Alien 3 was the dog-style alien. Even though it didn't look amazing, I like the idea of this slightly different creature because of the computation between a dog and a facehugger. That was really cool. I don't know if we needed to go the goo route to get such a wide angle on this, but at the same time, Alien Resurrection was a horrifying take on the same principles, just done completely different.
Yeah.
Similar-ish.
Yeah. Okay. I have a different line of questions because maybe I missed something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Prometheus ends, spoilers, with David and, Shaw
Elizabeth Shaw
leaving the planet in a spaceship. She builds him over time. He falls in love with her, so we're told. They get to this new planet. I'm assuming at some time before they get to this new planet, he kills her, right? Because she's not probably going to be there while he's massacring the planet and be okay with it.
I mean, at minimum, she's tied up.
Sure. Okay. Why?
Because I think he wants to keep her alive for all the eggs inside of her. Let's be honest.
Why does... Okay, so when the ship shows up, when he shows up at the alien world, it looks like he is in full control of what he's doing. And he releases the bomb and it kills off, we're supposed to believe, every engineer on the planet.
First
off, I just want to say that's
flesh-bound creature, I think.
Sure. That scene actually does look pretty dope where the virus is coming out of the ship and it's spinning like DNA strands. I thought that was actually pretty cool. That was a nice touch. I'll give it praise where it deserves it, but it's very limited. Why is the ship crashed if he's in full control of it? Why does he not have access to a ship? Because it now seems like he's stranded on the planet. Why would he crash the ship if we see him in complete control of it?
I don't know if it is crashed or he...
You see it, all the trees are broken down and they fall in the passive destruction.
Maybe Shaw wasn't dead. Maybe she saw what he was doing and she ran and grabbed the control yoke and said, no, don't do this.
Whatsoever. We are led to believe that he kills her in experimentation.
Yes.
That is what he basically says.
But we don't know if it was before or after he released the plague on the surface of the planet.
I guess that's fair. The other thing is at one point we see something on a table with its abdomen ripped open and guts kind of everywhere. Can you picture what I'm talking about?
Isn't that Shaw?
Talking about Shaw?
Is that Shaw?
Yeah, that's Shaw.
That was my next question.
She's like mummified.
It shows her head.
Yeah.
It shows a head and it's got hair, and I wasn't sure because
that's her.
None of the engineers had hair, and that's why I was confused.
Yeah, a lot of formaldehyde on that one. Yeah.
Now that brings me up a question, if I can just squeak it in here,
Go for it.
because you and Brian both were
So
not
what's buried in the
happy.
garden?
Oh, who cares? I
Okay.
mean, whatever. It's a tribute, whatever, right? You and Brian both had a little disdain for how Alien 3 handled two characters that died off screen. What did you
Sorry.
think of Elizabeth Shaw dying off screen?
Pissed me
Hated it.
off. It was
Like,
again. It was again.
They did the exact same thing as Alien 3 that
Yeah.
everybody hated about Alien 3.
Exactly. I
seems to have
was
taken-
upset that we lost Shaw, and the best that we got was this crappy recording of her singing an old country song. Great song, by the way. But it didn't. I was pissed. I was like, that's it. She was a good character in Prometheus. Not amazing, not stellar. She was good though. I liked her. I wanted to see more of that. And they did her dirty by they nuded her. They nuded
should have
her.
replaced frickin' Danny with her 100%.
If they'd had her still be alive and he was like harvesting eggs or something from her ongoingly, like he was just torturing her over time, that would have been horrifying. That would have been kind of interesting. But like,
okay.
I don't know. Everything.
I didn't like how they just deleted her. I didn't like how they
Sorry?
deleted her. I think
Yeah, they just offed her.
At least show her in flashbacks. This is what happened.
or find a video file of her explaining what David really did, and they go, "Oh my God, we've been led astray by this android" or something. I don't know. Anything. Give me anything other than her just being dead.
Yeah.
All right.
Explain
Any
why
other
the ship was
questions,
crashed.
Dan?
Oh my God.
I mean, it's the first time he was landing the ship. Maybe he was just growing pains.
Really bad at it. It's not even close to the city.
I know, but it's not like, is it destroyed? I don't know. I didn't think about it.
It's leaking a lot of water and stuff like that. I don't think it's space worthy anytime soon.
I don't know. All the spaceships in these movies seem to have water always dripping.
No, this
down
is
them.
like waterfall. This wasn't just like wet.
Right.
Yeah, the ship
I had
being
questions while you were talking.
crashed didn't make a lot of sense to me either. It's one of those things where I feel like maybe there was more plot here and it got snipped out and lost, and we lost some of the whys and hows. This is why I so
know at
badly
least
want
20 minutes was edited out from the original cut, just to pare it down to make it a more, audience length of enjoyment. So I know at least 20 minutes of footage was cut out. And I know the script went through 3 or 4 writers this time around as well.
Oof, that's never a good sign. Yeah. This again, and I'm going to say this so many times. I really want the trilogy to try and wrap up so many of these loose ends. I'm hoping that they can get some really solid writing that could bring it back around and at least give me some peace. At least end some of the torture that these movies have put us through by taking us on a ride that didn't need to happen, right? This could have just been a cool movie that wasn't tied to the Alien franchise.
I have a question for you specifically, Ron. What could they do in the third movie? You can think about this if you want to take like 5-10 minutes. You haven't already got this, but I'm assuming you have. What could they do in the third movie that would justify these first 2 movies' existence and make it worthwhile and make it fit the Alien franchise in a way that you're happy with and not make you feel like you're taking a giant pill and you have to choke it down?
Explain how the eggs got there in all cases. I want to know how the eggs got there. I want to come back around to Alien Prime and find out how they got those eggs on that ship, how the engineer had his chest burst out if David did create these eggs. I want to know how that happens. I want those dots to be connected because it doesn't look like they can. All right.
I already connected them for you in my theory, man.
Yeah, but
not satisfactory. No offense. Not satisfactory to me.
I can't talk fully about that. But David created the xenomorph that we know and love from Alien, and I want to know how that egg got on to that ship in the first Alien movie.
Thousands of that egg.
And
thousands of years ago.
And connect this time because Covenant does happen chronologically before Alien.
Yes.
Yeah, but like 9 years. Like it's
9
not
years.
much.
Yeah, I don't care. It took.
I do.
it took. It was so many years, I don't know whether it was 50 or maybe just a couple of months between the alien and aliens and the queen laying those eggs on LV 426 and the people going over there and finding all those eggs and bringing it back to the shake and bake colony. There's any amount of time that could have happened there. So 9 years is fine. That's fine to work with. I just want to know how. Or are they going to take this colony ship and connect it with Alien Earth and this new TV series coming out? What's going to happen there?
I doubt it too.
I have not seen a trailer for Alien Earth, so I'm going entirely off of nothing. My guess is now that Disney's in charge, you're going to see something completely unconnected to anything, and it's just, hey, what if we took aliens and put them on Earth? And that's literally all they thought about.
Yeah,
if this connects in any way, I'm going to be shocked.
I'm going to be kind of worried about that because
this is The Walking Dead with aliens.
I'll tell you guys this much. Many of our questions are not answered in Romulus.
I wouldn't assume so.
I'm assuming Romulus is just a horror movie, just a Alien 1 remake.
I assume they probably touch on a few things from the franchise, but don't give.
There's lots of connections in Romulus, but they don't answer enough of our questions, and I need an end to the David trilogy, and I want them to close the timeline so that we have David's egg on the alien ship in Alien, the first movie. That's what I really want to know. And if we can get there, I can maybe live with some of these changes. But I need to know, and I need Will to know, that David created this alien for sure.
I obviously
he doesn't deny that. He just thinks that it was already created.
It happens in Covenant. I just feel aliens existed prior, and he evolved them into aliens and feels he created them for the first time. Now, that, again, you may know the answer that that's not accurate, but that's just what makes sense in all of the movies I've watched up to this point.
I think, and I don't know for sure, but I think that Romulus presents the case that David did create them, but it doesn't necessarily seal the deal, and I think there's some room to negotiate on that. But I think they present it that David did create it, but they go in a different direction altogether, and we'll get back to that next week.
I'll find out next week for sure. So
I don't know how familiar you guys are with horror movies, but you know how they just released a Halloween, except for it's not Halloween 14, it's like Halloween 2, and they just ignored all of the other Halloweens. They just went from like Halloween to this one. I want that. I want like aliens.
You want a reboot?
Just reboot. And I liked Prometheus, but like it's not worth it. Just get rid of it. Yeah. Just get rid of all of it. Just be like, nah, screw it. Let's go back to them being bugs. Let's go back to them being like an alien species that is just hyper evolved.
Yeah.
Let's just see what that looks like. We don't have to make it like a horror movie every time. We can mess around with it a little bit, but like this virus thing's not working for me.
Yeah. And when you get into it, a lot of the novels and comic books cover the virus thing. They cover the transmorphism. I'm making up words here. The change in the biology of the alien structure, and it comes down to its root as a virus that adapts to whatever it comes in contact with. These movies just showcase that to a lesser, greater degree in ways that we like or don't like. And like I said, I'm not happy with how it happened, but I think that there is the opportunity for good things to come.
I don't disagree. Like the idea of the goo and what properties it holds is interesting. How it came about is complicated to say
the least.
The most positive thing I could say. Maybe wasn't always best executed, and I think had Ridley Scott had his way and could just make the 3 David trilogy on his own, it would have been a much more clear, concise picture. But because people wanted more action and more death, it got very convoluted and now may never see an end. And that's fine by me, because I think both of these movies don't really stand alone, and together they don't feel finished. Yep.
Sorry, I was just going to say, in fairness, both Prometheus and Covenant did make their money back. Like, neither one of these were flops. They might not have been highly regarded, but they both made money.
But how much money?
It's possible.
Making your money back and making bank are two different things.
Well, okay, fair enough. They didn't hit like $1 billion, but this one almost tripled its budget, like 2.5 times.
That's not bad.
So it's not bad. And I think Covenant did even better. Sorry, Prometheus did even better. I don't have those numbers directly in front of me.
And then Romulus did really well, and that's why they opened the door to maybe finishing the David trilogy, getting the TV series going, and they've already greenlighted a sequel to Romulus. Yeah. So, Dan, so we can stop kind of beating a dead horse here. How did you
beat this horse for a while?
How did you feel about the pacing of this movie, the action sequences, and how long it took for us to get to the actual classic xenomorph?
So I was never bored, and that was one of the things I was looking at when I was reviewing this. It keeps its pace pretty well. There's always something happening. There's always stuff going on. It's just usually what is happening I'm just mad about. Right. So it wasn't like I was enjoying it. I just wasn't bored. Like at no point was I like, man, I'm going to look at my phone for a little bit because there's nothing going on. No, there was always something. And like the movie looked good. The sound is fine. The acting is fine. Like it's all...
It's Ripley Scott. It's
all well done. I just don't like the decisions or the writing. Like that's the biggest issue for me. Like the plot and the enjoyment were both low because I was just angry the entire time. Like at no point was there somebody who was like, oh, thank you. No, just the entire time I'm like, oh, this guy. Like, can we get past the trope of when there's clearly an evil person and then you have no weapons and nothing to do with them, but you're like, you know, I got to take you in. And then they die instantly. Like, can we get past that? Because that happens like 4 times in this movie where they're just like, you know, I can't let you do that, David. Oh, that's a shame. Like, kills them. Or like,
come look at this egg. It's completely safe.
Put your face in there. Yeah. I'd really like to know what you're doing, David. I'll tell you in a second. First, come look at my death trap.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Or at the very end, she's in the pod and she clues in like, wait a second, are you David? And he just has that smile on his face, like, why would you let him know that you know? Like, you're dead anyways, but like, why would you let him know that you know? Oh, that kind of shit bugs the crap out of me. But like, now the flip side of that is when Walter confronts David and David does spike him in the neck, he does this weird like spider dying thing where he just like curls up into a ball. I liked that.
That was
cool.
Way cool. Yeah.
Yeah. He just like, and just like drops to the floor. Is like, okay, you got me. Like, there's some good ideas in this. They're just not the plot. They're like visual things that are cool.
Yeah. It's got a lot of great pieces. It's got a lot of great pieces. None of them fit together well.
Yeah, it really feels disjointed. Like the first half of the movie's like, all right, we're colonized, we're doing this thing, we're moving on into this great thing, and then it's like, okay, now we have to be an alien movie, just force in all of this action of aliens killing things, and it just felt like 2 different movies kind of mushed together. It was like a Prometheus portion, and you better have aliens in this movie. Just make it work.
Yeah.
And it never felt. It never felt mixed well enough for me.
David releases a virus onto the engineers. The virus murders all the engineers we see in seconds.
Yeah.
Is that the same virus that is in the mushrooms that the people hit that gets like goes into the guy's ear and up the guy's nose?
Doesn't look like it.
Because those ones create aliens. And if that's the case, all those engineers should have created a bunch of aliens. There should be a lot more life on that planet, even if the life is,
So remember, the engineer in the beginning of Prometheus drank the goo, it broke his body down, and it created a world of life, which was Earth, or at least we're supposed to... Right?
Or an Earth-like
thing.
Adjacent.
So he dumps the goo on them and it breaks them down and it creates a bunch of flora and fauna, which have its own ways of creating life and editing. So you get these pods, which spit out goo and go into their ears or nose or whatever and infect them and create a completely new form of life coming in contact with the goo. There were no humans to interact with the goo. There were only engineers on the planet and maybe crickets and birds or something.
Okay, two things there. One, the alien at the beginning of Prometheus is broken down at a cellular level. That thing disappears entirely. These things are still there 10 years later, or however long later. They're all like frozen in time.
What do you mean? The engineer that's broken down in the beginning of Prometheus?
Correct.
Okay, you said alien.
I'm sorry. The engineer at the beginning of Prometheus broken down on a cellular level.
That's right.
That goo rips him apart. The goo in this one looked almost more like a symbiote from Marvel.
Fossilized.
But they're all like fossilized. They're all still there. Like they are not broken apart. They're not changed into life in some way.
Hundreds of bodies saying, Yeah, we can trust this David guy. This seems just fine.
Yeah.
Which also makes me think that he's not able to use their bodies for anything, for any of his experiments and stuff like that. So
Agreed.
Again,
when he finds the 2,000 humans, he's like, oh, I can do so many things with this. But he had an entire race of the engineers, and it didn't appear like he kept any of them alive to do anything with. He just kind of.
and again, we're using the goo technology. One could be fertilizer, and one could be Roundup. Right? We don't really know. Well, I mean, they said it was a weapon. It was weaponized. It was meant to destroy Earth. So he drops that on the engineers and destroys them. And then from there, he's going through and trying, maybe, living on their planet, on their ship, and he's going through their files, and then maybe he figures out how to use the goo to create actual forms of life. We don't know. None of this is explained well. These are great questions.
Exactly.
Why
I agree with that point.
I think all of that is explained fine. Like, it shows different bugs and things that he was doing, dissecting and things. I'm sure because what we know is it's designed to eradicate flesh-bound life, which is humans, mammals, animals, that kind of stuff, birds, what have you. But that's why it makes sense that there were still insects for him to test on. That makes sense why he would have kept Shaw alive to experiment on her eggs. And that's where you get all these weird, deformed, alien-esque creatures. I think that is explained well enough by visual storytelling in this movie. And then obviously he's at a standstill. He creates 3 or 4 eggs that he's got down in his little cavern. He gets the face hugger kind of established, but now he needs, luckily,
I agree all that too.
To just really amp it up.
We don't know why dropping the plague bombs on them annihilates everything and not creates any form of life. We don't know how those pods on the planet got their little spurts of the goo in them. Is that because he dropped the plague bombs on the entire planet?
Sure.
Is that something that he did after the plague wiped out all life and completely destroyed it? We're not really clear on that.
No, that's true.
I'm actually going to go on Will's side on this one for a second, because you make a decent point. They dropped a weapon on these people, and maybe that changed the environment. Let's take it out of alien context for a second. Let's say you drop a nuke, right? It's going to change the environment around it. So maybe it's that the residual of the goo is what affected the plant life,
and that's
stuff
what
like that,
I
and
think.
changed them and evolved them.
Right. That's what I think.
I can get behind that. I don't like it, but I make some.
Dan, let me ask you this: if you came across these little pod things, would you poke them with your finger and just inhale all the dust?
I wouldn't go on the planet without a freaking helmet.
That.
Okay, I mean, back to Prometheus. I'm not gonna take my helmet off because, looks like oxygen. Let's pop this bitch. No, I'm not gonna do that because I'm a scientist, a top tier scientist that Wayland spent ungodly amounts of money risking his life to go be a professional on this planet. And no professional scientist is going to pop their lid on that planet. And these guys, colonists, are not gonna go out there on foot and just explore. They're not going to do that. So you're super huge flaws in the writing of both the Prometheus and Covenant movies. 100% agree on all that.
Yeah. I also don't think you do the Star Trek thing and send the captain down.
No.
I'm pretty sure the captain stays with the ship. James T. Kirk be damned.
We got red shirts for a reason. Yeah. And I think as soon as they see, hey, this is wheat from Earth, right then and there, you pump the brakes and we go, okay, this is something seriously wrong here. There's what's going on? Let's reconvene.
Didn't they hear Alabama before that?
What?
Yes, they did hear the song before.
So they already know there's something weird happening.
Right. They know there's a human leading them there, but the planet's already been colonized and there's nobody there. Hey, why is David growing wheat if Shaw was killed before they got to the planet? Shouldn't Shaw be the one growing the wheat to sustain herself?
No, I think.
Or is this engineers who engineered the wheat?
I think so, because it was big, so they're big.
Oh, shit,
so
you're
they
right.
big wheat. I think it was an engineer thing that was previously already established on the planet.
Well, the engineers are genetically human, right? And if all life on Earth came from them,
we share DNA. I can't say they're human when they're.
But like
you
when
know,
they, I thought when she did the tested, it was like 100% or something.
we share
Closer
100%
than a monkey.
DNA. We share 100% DNA. That doesn't mean
Oh, okay.
they're human or we're human.
No, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean they were
engineers.
human. I just mean,
But yeah. Yes,
like, it would make sense that they would also eat wheat.
We are supposedly of engineered DNA.
Except the celiacs.
What?
That's right.
I
Fuck those
assume there's
people.
celiac engineers as well, and they don't eat wheat.
Good point.
I'm not sure Dan understands what we're making fun of.
Not
here.
even a little bit.
Okay. Hey, just be happy you're not a celiac, okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Should we rate this movie that maybe some of us like and some of us don't?
Oh, why not?
Okay.
All right, I was gonna do this at the beginning of the episode, and then I completely forgot about it. So I was like, all right, well, we'll just do it at the end before we score. I don't think we have to. I'll go first. Why not?
Sure.
Actually, you know what? I want you guys to screen on this one because I'm doing something we've never done before.
Oh boy.
I watched this movie. I hated this movie, and it changed what I thought. Okay, so last week when we did Prometheus, we watched it, and I was like, okay, all of the pieces are really, really good, and it should, by my rating score, get an 84. But it just didn't quite feel like it should be an 84, and I took it down to a 75.
Yeah, you're retroactivating.
We watched Covenant, and I hated it so much that I immediately watched Prometheus again to be like, did I like that as much, or does this ruin it for me? I'm giving Prometheus back the score it deserved. I'm putting Prometheus back up at an 84 because that movie is really good, and I do really enjoy it. Even the, fourth time that I've seen it now. Now, that being said, I really didn't like Covenant, but there's a small part of me that does want to watch it a second time now that I have like floorboard expectations. Because I came from Prometheus, which I was actually relatively high on, into this one hoping for Prometheus with more answers, and instead got a slap in the face. So maybe now that I'm expecting a slap in the face, I can take the big pill that Brian took and kind of enjoy it. So before we go into my rating on this one, I am changing my rating in Prometheus. That doesn't really matter because there's 7 movies in this franchise. The ratings are pretty much
that's
what they
okay.
are.
As you watch this franchise, it changes the way you feel about previous movies. It really does. One way or another, you will feel differently about the rest of it because you kind of have to. Unless they reboot this fucker, you're gonna have to just live with it.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, I don't have to rewatch any of them ever again is the thing. But
well, I mean, or you take the you take the Home Alone approach and just say, oh, there's only 2 Alien movies, and just be happy with your life.
Yeah.
I might say there's 3, but yeah, that might be the end of it for me. Now, that being said, I've heard wonderful things about Romulus, so I am super curious for next week. But
right.
Okay, let's get into this for now. All right. I've already told you I hate this movie. We don't need to beat around the bush on that one. That being said, kind of like last week, all of the pieces are really well done. Like Ridley Scott really does know how to craft the craft of making a movie. The music in this is fine. Is great. It has that same tune that we had in Prometheus. It was really weird to me that David could play it. Like David could almost hear the music of the background, which I'm not saying I disliked. It was just weird for me. Like it kind of took me out of the movie for a second when I realized that's the tune he was playing. But it was okay. The movie looks gorgeous. There's a couple of parts of this movie where I thought it looked worse than Prometheus, which is weird because it's 5 years newer. But then when you take a look at the budget, it's almost half of what Prometheus budget was. So you kind of give it a pass on that one. But there's a couple of times where I'm like, it doesn't look great. There's other times where it looks amazing. It's a little effect, but like the head bobbing in the water of the fountain looked cool every time. The aliens looked cool every time. The movie looks good. The acting, I think, is phenomenal, especially from Michael Fassbender. And even though there's characters that I don't like, I still think they did a good job. They mentioned Danny McBride as Tennessee. Hated everything about the decisions he made the entire way along. But he felt, I'm going to say, real. I don't know that he would really get the job he had. That seems like something you don't give to somebody who makes those kind of decisions. But I understand somebody who's like, my wife is down there. I'm going to risk 2,000 people to go and do it. Don't like it, but it's understandable. He did a good job with it. Now we get into the plot and the entertainment value for me. The plot was so ridiculously stupid to me and really just hurt a lot of what came before it that I have massive issues with this one. And as I mentioned, the entertainment value was there in the sense that I was never bored, but I was almost just watching in disbelief of the things that were happening and what they were doing in front of my eyes, more so than enjoyment or like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what happens next. So those ones really brought it down. So even though the filmmaking art is there, the actual story hurt it so much that I gave this one a 56, which does technically mean I liked it more than Alien 3, but is the second worst Alien movie on the list for me.
That's a score.
That's a score. Ryan, you said you've come to terms with this one. I would have loved to have gotten your score after you watched it the first time, but
yeah, the first time. Well, so for me,
we'll jump to you.
And I can just jump into this. For me, the first time I watched Prometheus and then into Covenant was really, really disappointed with things. After rewatching the films, after going over some of the lore and the fan-based ideas of what's going on, I realized that there's a lot of opportunities for good things to arise from this if I can just get over the fact that aliens are goo and sometimes they come in the form of bugs. I like the bugs. I'd like to just keep it as bugs, and I'd like to have space marines fighting them all the time, and that's all I really want. But that's not what I get. Instead, we get goo. And I've kind of come to terms with that, and I see how there can be some really cool things that happen with it. I can also see from the movie Alien Resurrection how there can be some really stupid things, some really disgusting things that come from it. And I think we'll see next week maybe a better take on things, but maybe not. I don't know. That's going to happen next week. But for right now, the plot is the one thing that really took me out of this. We talked about how everybody makes stupid choices, and they do. They just make really bad choices all throughout the film. Nothing really connects. Nothing makes sense. Even when somebody is doing what should be the right thing, that's the time when you're like, well, maybe they shouldn't actually be doing that right now, because now the stupid choice that I know they're making does make sense the way they're presenting it. I'm talking about when they decide to go down to colonize this planet or check out this planet. How they go about it doesn't make sense, but why they go about it does to me. Yeah, the plot sucks. Nothing connects the way it should connect, and so that is disturbing. One other thing, and we didn't touch on this too much, is that the transition from colony mission to an alien movie was jarring. In fact, I think there's something like 17 minutes of an actual xenomorph in this film, and it almost felt like they just hard stuffed that one in there so that the fans wouldn't bitch too much like they did about Prometheus. I mean, the captain gets a face hugger wrapped around him in the most ridiculous way anyway, like, nah, come take a look at my booby trap. And then what feels like 12 seconds later, we've got a full-grown xenomorph attacking people. And that bothered me, but it did make for a fun sequence, right? Flying around on this spaceship where it's practically zero G. They're spinning that thing around so crazy with this ridiculous grabber claw that has no right being attached to a cargo ship. What are they grabbing with that claw? The claw that literally squeezes an alien into pulp. What would you logically use that for? My God, I don't know. But it was really cool to watch it squeeze that alien into pulp. So again, a super fun sequence that makes no sense whatsoever. And this movie is absolutely packed full of them. A whole bunch of things that have no right being together in a movie. They don't make any sense, but individually, those pieces were a lot of fun for me to watch. When I stopped and thought about the movie as a whole, I really just wanted this movie to not exist. I really don't like where it took Prometheus, which was already on a bad route. I don't like where it took it, and then it just ends it on a cliffhanger, and I get no resolution, and that really frustrated me. I think they're going to have an incredibly hard time wrapping up this trilogy. They damn well better answer some of the questions, the biggest one being, where did the eggs come from in the first Alien movie? Because this is supposed to be the prequel that starts it all. And it's not. It just doesn't feel right. So they're going to have some trouble there. So the plot just absolutely killed it. However, the acting, Fassbender, of course, was phenomenal. Danny McBride, a great character. Doesn't make any sense, but great character. I like the lead. I keep calling her Edwards, Daniels. Daniels was a great character. Didn't really do much for me, but in the spirit of an Ellen Ripley, she, again, was okay. I would have rather had Shaw than Daniels. But she was okay, and I was happy enough with it. But Fassbender's interaction with himself was a breathtakingly good scene. Not just the fight sequence, but when he is teaching himself how to play the flute and the way he kills himself. Just the visual from that death sequence, the dialogue building up to it, the way that they can communicate to each other, and the way they inspect each other as they approach. So amazing. I instantaneously forget that this is one actor playing both roles. So phenomenal job in the acting and the special effects to showcase those sequences, the special effects to showcase the alien popping out of the guy's back or jumping at them through the the wheat field. The beautiful scenery as they're climbing through the mountains. I didn't really like the way the spores were portrayed floating through the air and going into their earlobes and their ear canals and stuff. That was kind of whatever. But otherwise, the effects were really, really good, and I enjoyed the look of this film. The sound effects and music were spot on. I felt they built a very good climatic scene, intensity. The sounds of like when her husband is burning alive in his cryo tube, which again doesn't make any sense, and terrible writing and all that. But it was a very intense sequence and got me pretty excited. And a lot of that is because of all the sirens going off and the screaming and the yelling and all that sound being forced into your ear canal like some sort of a spore from an alien planet. So I did like that. Does this movie hold up? We'll see. We'll see. I don't think it does. I think the more you think about this movie, the more it falls apart. But I'm hoping that there is an opportunity for an extraordinarily good writer to try and tie this together and make me at least be satisfied with what has occurred so far. I had a lot of fun watching the bits and pieces. I try not to think about the big picture. For me, the whole movie gave a 72, which is lower than Prometheus, but much higher, much higher than Resurrection and higher than Alien 3, because Alien 3 missed the point.
I have two questions for you. I guess there's one question, essentially. Well, I have Prometheus written down as 81. What did you give? What do you think you gave Prometheus?
You have Prometheus written down as... Oh, I do have Prometheus written down as 81, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this less than Prometheus. Did I say more?
Yeah.
No, I like this less than Prometheus.
Okay, good. Hey, because I was really shocked for a second there.
No, my original Prometheus score was 79, and I adjusted it to 81, like I always do after talking things out with you guys. My score is 72. I liked it less than Prometheus. I'm sorry.
Okay, maybe I heard you wrong.
Bring me back up on the big screen. Bring me back up on the big screen.
Oh boy.
I mean, I liked Prometheus more than Covenant, because Covenant just fell apart. There, you can edit that in. Edit that in. There you go.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't taking crazy pills, because I'm like, wait, did I get your score wrong? Also, like, you said a couple of times you didn't like Prometheus. I'm like, you gave it almost as much as you gave the first movie. Like, it's pretty high up there for you.
Yeah, again, Prometheus is one of those movies where it's like, I really didn't like it originally, but the more I watched it, the more I was okay with it. And then Covenant comes along and kicks you in the balls and says, yeah, we're just going to take this bitch for a ride. And it gets worse. So...
It gets worse.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Take us home, Will.
All right. I just have a lot of things that are the same that both of my colleagues here have said. The movie looks good. It doesn't look as good as Prometheus did. And Dan mentioned that the budget for this one was lower. But that said, they made Prometheus as a 3D movie, and that colossally increases the budget. So because they made this one not as a 3D, it substantially lowered the budget for the movie. Anyway, I also think that's why Prometheus looks better, is because they spent more time making it just look grandiose and epic. and I think they established that really well. This one looks fine. It just doesn't look as grandiose and awe-inspiring, and that's whatever. That's fine. Aside from that, I maybe harped on this a little during the episode. The writing in this is tragic. Character development is horrendous, and decisions made were just, they felt tired. It felt like, oh, this character, I'm gonna go for a piss. It's like the most basic setup for a kill I've ever seen in my life, and they do this about 16 times in the movie, so it gets old pretty quick. Highlights of this movie: James Franco dies immediately. I don't even think he's credited in the film, so that's a plus. And it ended eventually, so that's good. But most importantly, hey, stop it. I'm trying to rate this movie here. Most importantly, I think what this movie encompasses and really hits home for the audiences, and I think this is an important message that we didn't really talk about, and that is, don't work with your husbands and wives at the office. It just doesn't work out, okay? It just doesn't work out, and you saw it here. Keep family out of business. It doesn't work out. Overall, this movie got a 61. There's fun elements. There is fun death scenes. It is an Alien movie. It's just not a good one. And it is better than Alien 3. I don't care what these two boners tell you. This is a straight up better movie. This is worse than Alien 3 by far.
I agree with you on that.
Oh, you rated Alien 3 higher?
No, Alien 3 is worse. Oh, sorry. You're saying this is better than Alien 3.
Yeah,
He mixed it up too. He mixed it up too. He said it was better at first. He meant worse. Yeah.
Alien 3 is better than this movie, bar none.
Gotcha.
Yes,
All right,
Alien 3 is better than this movie. No,
Yours?
it's not. My score for Alien 3 is lower than this movie.
I know, that's because you misrated Alien 3. I'm just telling you.
I may. You know what? I may have. No.
Alien 3 is bad, guys. Like,
no,
at least this one tried.
Yeah, I had fun watching this movie, and a lot of times my fun score will carry a movie a lot more. Even though this movie was frustrating to watch and made no sense, the individual sequences were so entertaining to me. I mean, I just go, okay, this movie isn't going to win awards, but it entertains me. Whereas Alien 3 depressed me. I wasn't happy watching it, and I never am happy watching it. I always feel bad watching it.
I think that's the point.
That's how I felt watching this one. Like, how depressed you were for Alien 3 is how I felt about this one.
Oh.
I think this one's depressing because it's just so poorly executed. I think Alien 3 was meant to be a depressing movie. It's the cold, dark closure to the Ripley trilogy.
I get that 100%. Yeah. I also,
whether you like it or not, obviously.
I also think that Alien 3 was reaching back to its roots, trying to make a scary scenario, and I was never scared in the movie. I was never frightened at all by the alien. Actually, yeah. When she was locked in the room and that thing was jumping out of the guy's back, I was scared out of my mind. That freaked me out. That was this claustrophobic, trapped feeling of this disgusting, sharp critter. Everything in the room is very cold and sterile, but then there's blood splashing everywhere, making you feel like you're infected just touching it. It was a very scary sequence for me.
It was visceral. I'll give you that. I also didn't mention the final scene of, like, it was just like, hey, we need a blockbuster action scene like all the Marvel movies are doing. It was so bad. You enjoyed it. It was terrible.
Oh my God. Hey, let's set up a mousetrap adventure to try and capture this alien. We're going to throw the biggest, heaviest equipment that is probably going to doom the colony because we're throwing this shit out the back door.
The slowest equipment, just slowly impaling this creature.
Right.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
That was horrible. That was stupid. Bad. Yeah. Looked cool. Looked really cool. It was stupid.
And I'm sorry, but Danny flying around on that rope, no way she's surviving that.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way. And Tennessee, okay, this guy's the best pilot ever. This is why he was hired, because he can fly this, whatever it was, cargo ship, like, around rocks and mountains, also control a crane arm to grab an alien out of the air, and make sure he's avoiding just nailing Danny and splatting her into any number of rocks. Just
Tennessee's the man. Yeah, he's amazing.
The man.
Tennessee's
the man.
Can anybody, you guys or chat, please explain to me what the fuck is up with that claw? What would you ever use that for?
I'm gonna take a look at this claw because it did not seem that out of place to me.
Oh, it looked like the teeth from something out of like Maximum Overdrive or something. It was ridiculous. It was like a death claw, all spiky.
Yeah, it was weird.
And then he hits the nitrous on it and just squeezes that alien into pulp. And this is ridiculous.
I was surprised at the pulp. I'll give you that. Like, he crushed that thing pretty hard. Can you guys hear that? I'll turn the sound off.
Nope.
Can't hear anything.
Perfect.
Dan, you're getting hit hard by the kick bots, man. I've seen them popping up in chat today like crazy.
They really want you to make partner, man.
Yeah, they really want to help you out. They're excited. Sub for sub, Dan. Go for it.
What's the worst that could happen? Legitimately, I might just stop going to kick whatsoever. It's awful every time.
There you go.
Where even is the fucking alien? Like, they're on the ship.
Also, I don't know. I don't think the alien looks great in daytime. It's not as scary.
I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, it was
when it first leaves the temple and starts like running at them. There is something kind of scary about that. But when it's on the ship and they're tracking it, it's less so.
Yeah.
And did you guys notice it's running on all fours when it comes out of the temple? It's not walking upright like a humanoid. Yet it's supposed to be a humanoid alien, and that wasn't accurate. They gave it the special effects from Alien 3.
A little bit, yeah.
Instead of giving it the humanoid features, and I was like, I mean, it was cool. Again, it was cool to watch. It was really exciting and everything, but it didn't make sense.
They also did a little bit of the alien cam in this one, which they did in Alien 3, but they gave it a little filter of like weird gel over the camera.
Quick,
I was like, I don't know if it's necessary, but okay.
Completely, yeah. I thought it was completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about a scene in this.
In what?
in the movie we're talking about. Like,
what scene?
It's pretty forgettable.
Well, because like I was picturing they're on the little ship, they're flying off, and the crane grabs the thing and it dies, right? And that's the end of the aliens.
No, there's another one.
And then there's like another alien on the ship that they have to like cargo bay off. And like I remember it now that I'm seeing
That's
it.
right.
Like,
the guy with the burned face was infected.
Or David infected him once he was on board.
That could happen too, yeah.
Either way.
We don't know.
Timelines are pretty wishy-washy with David altogether at that point.
Yeah.
How fast he could cut his arm off, change his hair, change his look.
After Romulus next week, we're going to have a long discussion about the gestation periods and hosts and the timeline of aliens, because Romulus is going to blow this one out of the water for you guys.
It looks, I mean, it looks like, okay, it's aggressive. I will definitely give you that. But like, I don't know if it's a loader so much as it looks almost like construction equipment. You know what I mean? Like, this looks like it could be like digging in the ground or something. But it's definitely more aggressive than what we use here on Earth. But maybe the new alien planet's gonna be more aggressive. Who knows?
Well, the one they chose was more aggressive. That's for sure.
For sure. Okay, so one thing you mentioned, and this is like after, like this isn't part of the episode anymore. We're just talking. Out of curiosity, because you mentioned the fact that the alien bursts out of his chest and then is like full grown in seconds. What did you guys think about the fact that the alien comes out looking like a tiny alien as opposed to like a snake that evolves? Because even right off the bat, it's not what we're used to.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, it's just like I mean, at this point in the movie, who gives a fuck? But in my mind, it's like, oh,
I've already given up on this.
Yeah, they've got better technology, so they've just kind of altered that. Oh, it is a small alien that grows instead of it needs to evolve throughout its process out in the open.
Fair.
I think they were trying to go for some sort of worship the father pose right there. Definitely. Yeah. David standing with his arms open, the little alien kind of like looking at him.
Mimics.
Yeah. I think that's what they were going for. Completely unnecessary. Didn't really fit. It was dumb. I didn't like that at all.
Cool. All right. Wrap
this
up.
Dan's favorite part, though.
Oh, clearly.
Dan's favorite part on this one was the credits.
I'm trying to think. Look, there were.
Dan's favorite part was the fingering. Let's be honest.
No, that was Run's favorite part. Thank you very much.
Honestly. Hey, if I was gonna finger another man, I'd want it to be my clone. I would want it to be me. I'm just saying.
It's not gay. It's just masturbation.
At a whole new level. That's right. Taking it to the cutting edge of masturbation.
Will wants to leave so badly right now.
Hey, I mean, I'm not gonna yuck Run's yum. Okay, I'm not about to do that.
I thought there were a ton of really cool sequences in this movie, and they didn't go together at all, and none of it made sense. But individually, those pieces were really cool.
Yeah, I don't even. I'm trying to think of like what my favorite part of the movie actually is, and I'm trying to like
I told you
there's
my
more
favorite
like
part.
there's more like instant imagery, not instant, but like short imagery. Like the spine breaking out of the guy's back was really cool. Like the DNA coming, or the strand of virus coming out in like looking like DNA was cool. The derelict ship was cool, but none of them paid off and were like, oh, I feel great about this. It was just like, okay, that little part is cool.
I also don't understand why one alien thing from the spore infection came out of the back and the other alien spore thing came out of the mouth. A much easier birthing orifice.
Didn't one go in an ear and one go in a nose?
I don't think that's much different. Like,
They're both in the bloodstream.
They're both here. One's coming out here and one's coming out here. I don't know.
I mean,
closer to go here.
I think they just whatever direction those things were facing when they wanted to pop, that's where they went.
I guess.
I don't know.
It just seemed odd because every other time chest bursters
again doesn't make any sense, but each had its own cool imagery to watch. It was a cool sequence to watch, but it didn't make any sense. You're right.
Yeah. I you kind of touched on it, and I want to just reiterate it. The fact that like the spores almost had sentience and were alive, as opposed to just like, and now they're just in the air and you can't get away from them.
That's dumb.
It was a choice. I didn't like it.
It was dumb. No, it was a bad choice. It was a bad choice. It was dumb.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Because nowhere in the franchise does the goo act on its own. Nowhere have I ever seen that before. And so now this pollinous spore, which is, it's not supposed to be sentient. It's plant life.
Yeah. The closest would be like in Prometheus, where once they come in contact with the goo, it starts reacting. But that could be a chemical reaction, not a sentient one.
Exactly.
It could be even, honestly, it could just be the fact that the air was opened after 2,000 years, like just exposed to fresh air as opposed to dead, stale air. Anyways, I'm going to do the outro, and then if you guys are free to stick around for a little bit, we can. And if you're not, you're free to go.
Oh, thank you, Dan.
You know what, Will? You can fucking go right now.
Bye, Will.
All right, and that was our episode of Our Rating, talking about Alien Covenant. What do you guys think? Did we score this one really high? A little too low? Probably too low for a lot of you. Let me know down in the comments what you think and what franchise we should tackle next. We still have one Alien movie, and then we're going to go back to Mad Max Furiosa to finish that franchise off. And then after that, we haven't really settled on what we're going to do. So leave a comment down below if you've got an idea of what you'd like to see us tackle. We record this live over at twitch.tv/The Mongooli Show. So if you want to head over there and hit the follow button, you can interact with us as we're recording this. Or if you enjoy this here on YouTube, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and you'll see when more great content comes out. As always, I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. Good luck to you.
Dan, you never showed the ratings poster.
What did we overall rate this movie?
Oh, shit, you're right.
That's just the whole point of doing this thing.
The only reason I stayed was to
All right. Okay, so that brings Alien. It didn't really change our scores all that much. I took top place from Will, so now I'm the highest rated for our rating at 75. Brian's sitting at a low 71, and Will has 72 for a grand score of 72. This movie brought our score down all of 1 point. I don't think Romulus is going to take us down to the point where it hits Predator or Mad Max levels or even worse, but we'll have to see. I keep hearing good things about this one. I'm hoping it'll, at least keep it where it is, if not go up higher. But
I'm kind of blown away that I'm the lowest score on the franchise so far.
You really tanked it with your Resurrection. You
Fuck that
really
movie.
hated that movie.
I really hate that movie.
That's a great note to go off on. That's going to be the end of it. Just fuck that movie. That's credits right there, baby. Dan has only green and reds. Is that true?
Real Bubba Hotep, it's just the Macaulay Culkins. I know. It deserves its own asterisk. It's not finished. It deserves its own asterisk.
That's interesting. I didn't even realize that I'm always the highest or the lowest.
Yep. Dan's a lover and a hater.
I love and hate passionately.
That's what I just said.
Pretty much. I just wanted to throw the passion in there.
Are we doing a quiz today, or are we just screwing around today? Because I got all the time in the world.
I was planning on doing a quiz, and I hit time bump after time bump after time bump, and I just didn't get around to it, unfortunately. So
okay.
No, I don't have one for you.
That's all good.
I find these movies shockingly hard to do because there's no, as weird as it sounds, there's no background or anything. You know what I mean? Like it's all like, not many people are going to think of LV223. I don't even know if I got that right just now. Like that's a hard thing to quiz on. There's no like, oh, what happened in the background of this scene, or like what city does this take place in? Because like there's no cities, there's no, like it's just space and like derelict wall. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to pick something where like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's all going to be like what time frame and what character name, because that's all I can come up with. Especially when you do multiple choice, it really limits your options for what you can come up with. If it was just like, hey, what did this person say in this moment? That's tough. But if you're like, hey, what did this person say in this moment? This, or game over, man, game over. Like, you know, like it's like, that one's obvious.
I'm gonna end stream for the one viewer that's watching. I believe, I don't even know how many people. Oh, there's a couple of people watching on Twitch. I'm gonna end stream. I don't know, Dan, if I don't know how well this seems to work with us being separate. If we can do the stream together thing with Twitch, I think I'll try and do it more. But like
the first time you did it, where you were actually copying my stream, I don't know why that made a difference.
I don't know why
you had a huge following.
That was fine. People were coming in and they were getting the joined chat, and it was fine. But this where it's separate, this is kind of a waste, I think. A couple people would come in and they'd be asking questions, and I think they just went over to your stream anyway, which is fine. That's fine. But I would rather do the stream together thing and link them. So I'll probably not bother doing that until we can find a solution that works a little bit better.
Well, if we try next week and that button's there for you, go for it. And if it's not, we'll just keep doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 20 plus people the entire stream. I'm not sad about that.
Okay.
It's not our highest rated numbers by any stretch, but it's fine.
If you're one of the handful of people watching on my stream, head on over to Dan's stream. I'm going to continue hanging out over there.
You can literally raid, but.
And then, I could literally raid too. Yeah. Actually,
it's probably all the same people anyway. It's just opening in two different windows.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'll just raid over there. They're probably on the same. They're probably people watching on two different web browsers anyway.
The 20 best people. You're damn right, wonderful dude.
But for those people who are rewatching this on YouTube later or something, we'll figure this out and get it going a little bit smoother later. But I'm gonna end the stream now, and then if I do end up staying up late tonight, I will probably come back and do some Star Citizen stream or something like that. But for now, I'm gonna hang out with Dan and maybe Will if he decides to stay in there for a bit.
No, Dan's already showing me the door, so I'll say my adieu.
Will, you are always welcome here at the Mongooli Show.
But for now, I'm gonna hang out with.
I understand you want to leave anyways.
We appreciate